You got to get the title up there, my man. There you go.
Hey, this ain't a drill. Only time I'm playing is on the field. And when I'm on the field, no, I got mad skills. And you know we about to eat this a fast meal. Y'all gotta pay for this heat like a gas bill. We keep on coming back, so yeah, they mad still. 716 make them pay with some bad bills. Red, white, and blue like Superman, so you know we eating at the Super Bowl. Kill the competition, set up the funeral. Josh Allen catching all the shots you go for. We callin' blitz. Ready to start, we ain't calling no quits. I'm the #1 draft pick. A lot of y'all talk, but I ain't hearing it. Only listen to Keyshawn and him. Talk about the Bills dominating on the field. All our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill when we talk about the Bills. Dominating on the field, and our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill.
What's going on? Welcome back to another live episode of the Post Podium Podcast. All this spit up on this mic because it's a big night to talk about Buffalo Bills football. This is the home of the all true, no sodium takes. I am your co-host, Aramis.
Melly Mac.
40 keys.
40 keys in the
keys,
house.
yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Bills got the dub yesterday afternoon?
Yeah.
How we feel about the game? What stuck out to us, fellas? That much, huh?
I always defer to you first, you know.
So to me, it's what I expected. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't expect them to be a blowout. I mean, I didn't expect the Denver to be close. Like, I expected it to be a blowout. It was. Watching the game at work, because we had drill, so it's just weird to me because I don't know, man. I still don't get it, man. Like, after when it was halftime, it was 10-7. I was like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, what? What do you mean you don't know? Like, what, are we watching the same game? Like, I don't know. People just, I think it's just the stigma and the history of the Buffalo Bills to be like, you just can't trust them no matter what. Even though when they're supposed to win or they're favored to win, it's just people just got that mantra that, I don't know if we're going to lose this one. Like, every game it feels like, we're going to lose this one. But, like, I'm sitting there just trying to, like, don't worry about it. I'm like, listen, they're probably not going to score another point. You think so? I'm like, probably not. Like, this is how the Bills play football. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't nothing that I didn't see coming. You know, like, I kind of expected the Bills to do what they do. They ran the ball a lot, expecting them to do that. What I did not expect, though, is my man Maxwell Hollins. Man, that boy was on fire, boy. You see that hit on Marvin Mims?
He did his thing. He did his thing.
Let me just do it one time. He just got a thing. He do the other thing.
And did y'all see what he wore?
Yeah, the
Flintstone
Flintstone
with the water
yeah.
buffalo. I'm like, ooh, with the Denver Broncos colors, like.
I was just laughing when Shakir had the little short boy and took it long and spun off everybody. And in the background, you saw Mac doing this.
Oh, yeah, they showed that. That's right.
I'm
That's
like,
right.
what? Yo, sign this dude up again. Bree, I need more of this. I need more. I need him to come with the Barney Rubble. I need him to come with the Bam. I need him to come with the Barney from the show. I need him to come with, I don't know. Do whatever you need to do. I need this, man.
You just love the entertainment.
Man, and then he blew it. Oh, man, when he ran over Mims. See, the thing about this game for me, and like Matt was confident about the win, I was confident Mims wasn't going to do anything.
Really?
Remember we talked about it. You said the kid. I said they don't even return. They don't return against the Bills. We kick it through the end zone. Wasn't worried about that. The punts, whatever. You know, I wasn't too worried about that. But when it comes to his offensive prowess, I really wasn't worried about him doing anything on offense because I mean, let's face it, they don't have anything else. So if you're worried about Mims, if you know Mims is on the field, nobody's worried about whoever else was on the field besides Cortland Sutton.
Right. I think that's why the Troy Franklin play worked so well.
You know what about the Troy Franklin play? I'm tired of having Douglas and Rapp on the same side. I'm tired of this. Douglas and Rapp on the same side does not spell success.
You rather have Marmar? And
I would put Marmar over there because Marmar might give a play,
right?
But it won't be behind his head. You know, and that's the thing. Like, okay, people say, you know, the thing is, the 2 weeks in a row just happened.
Yeah, but Rapp and Douglas don't typically play on the same side.
I know, but this is the second time that this happened when they were playing on the same side. Yeah, second time in 2 weeks. And then you got to remember Cole Bishop too. Just give me somebody else. I'm just tired of seeing Mushroom Head with the ball behind him running into the end zone. Yeah, it's annoying to me.
Do you think? And we'll see when the replay comes out, the all 22. But do you think some of this has to do with the decline of Douglas?
No. I mean, I could see it, but if you say decline, that means I thought he was really that good last year.
No.
I'm saying in hindsight, if I say decline, that means he's coming down from something. And where he is.
4 interceptions last year.
Well, he had
in half the
interceptions,
season.
but, I mean, was that an anomaly? I don't know. We don't know what Douglas really is. So we've seen from the beginning of the season this player. We've seen this production since the beginning. I mean, he was hurt last year at some point. He's been hurt in the past. He's had injuries, you know. But, I mean, the thing that remains true is I'm hearing him a lot like Stephon Gilmore, because you heard what he said. I was thinking one thing, and Rap was thinking something different. You both were thinking about giving up that touchdown to a nobody, a 4th-round draft pick. So, I mean, in hindsight, I mean, that was one thing that upset me. And the other thing that upset me really was the fact they came out slow in the first half. I mean, they were slow again. And against Denver, who cares? But I'm thinking about what happened when we played the Ravens last time on the first play of the game.
Yep.
You can't come out slow when that threat is there. So, you know, we got James Cook, yes, that's my man. I know. He saved the day in the first half.
Himbo
saved the day in the first half, and then Josh took over in the second. But I think a lot of that had to do with the fact Denver's like, yo, because even Sean Payton said it we can't allow that running. We can't allow it. So he sold out to that, and guess what? Josh's time to shine.
Yeah.
Vu, don't do it, man. Don't start already, bro. He said
What we gonna
hide
do?
in all caps. Hide. No, bro. No, he's not going on the field. The man is not going to see the playoff field.
No, he's not.
Who?
He's not. Micah Hyde.
Micah Hyde.
Oh.
He's not going to play.
No, you're right. You're right. He says number 23 never let that happen. You're right. Absolutely right. Yeah. But he cannot take the chance on it. We saw what happened with Taron Johnson. Like Micah Hyde is one of those away from never walking again.
I'm shocked that he came back so quick, because when I saw it and they slowed it down, I'm like, oh, man.
That's a whole car accident right there.
It's a
I'm
stinger.
like, dude.
It's a stinger.
Yeah, that's what I called that, because my wife saw it. She was like, ooh. I'm like, yeah.
But when he came back, I'm like, okay. But I was mad. I'm mad at my man Davis though, man.
Davis.
Ray Davis.
Ray.
Oh yeah, yo.
Man.
Josh felt terrible. I know he did. But I think even with that, I think he'll clear protocol by next week.
For Sunday.
Yeah.
The way they had to get the spatula out to peel him off the field, I don't know. They had to scoop him up off there. They scraped him. I mean, he was
but
out.
they got him up and he was walking. Like usually, if they gotta like cart him off, then you know.
So one of the guys watching, he did say like when he went down, he had the two hands a little bit.
Yeah, the mantis hands. Yeah.
So I'm like,
That's a full brain reset.
Man.
That's a serious deal. I didn't have that when I had mine, and I cracked my eye orbit. And I
Yeah.
ain't had no full brain. Well, I don't remember. I wasn't awake, but anyway, they didn't say I whatever. But
I must got some steel up here. I've had a few concussions, but never got knocked out.
I definitely got
Yeah,
it. Well,
I've never had. I don't think I ever had
You
severe
have.
ones, but
You-
I had some
yeah.
because like I remember I was the first one I remember that I had was I was moving, and I banged my head on a U-Haul truck, and it looked
seen
like somebody
stars?
went
Saw
like
that.
this. No, like
Yeah.
somebody took a
Yep.
flash, like,
Yep.
I'm like, oh.
see, that's funny because when we were kids, we didn't know that was a concussion. We just like, whatever.
Right.
You knock it, you hit, you're like, okay, whatever, whatever, we're good. Yeah, you're like, we're good. As soon as your nose start to smell stuff, you're like, I'm good to go. Now, man,
Right.
they say you had like 90, 95, 97 concussions in the course of your life. I'm like, I remember the one bad one I had was I got headbutted in the eye, and that's what happens. You know, I was out,
Yeah.
woke up, had to go to the doctor, all that stuff. But I mean, I remember wanting to go back to school because my eye was swollen shut, and I thought I was looking like Rocky. I was like, yeah.
Cut me, Mick, cut me.
How is that possible? So my man Cato says Bleacher Report got Douglas the 17th player in the top 50 free agents.
That's easy.
Really?
It's a weak year though.
No, it's a weak you're
year.
right. It's a very weak year, but I mean, still, a 30-year-old corner is number 17. They couldn't think of 17 other dudes.
Sure, but why would you when Rasul Douglas? I'm good with that.
A lot of it too got to do with playing with Babbage and McDermott on his defense too. You got to think about it that way, too, because look how I'm not saying like Benford is he's our best corner.
Yeah.
But PF got him like elite and zone where, like we said, I think he's good,
Yeah.
but a lot of it have to do with Babbage and McDermott's defense that they're playing, the system that they're playing in.
In fact,
Okay.
Marmar's behind him. Right,
Bruh, yo,
that's right.
we gonna have a whole nother debate about Marmar up in this piece.
No, I don't think so. Unless you want
Whoa, Laura. Laura, Shout out to Laura hitting us with a super chat. She said PPP money. Yeah. So okay, all right. I was hoping to save this, but Zuzu kind of broke the news before we even got started. We are monetized. Super chats are available. Not only that, but the store is up and running, okay? So in the link of this video right now, you can click that bad boy and take you right to our storefront. We got hoodies, T-shirts, we got quarter zips, and we got some 40-ounce mugs if that's your thing. They 40s.
40 ounces.
They 40s.
No, no. He said 40s. All I need is the 40s.
Thank you, Laura.
Yeah, we appreciate it. No, I'm glad Rich didn't put that as a super chat. But anyway,
I know I would have had to have read it.
You would have, and I would be here for it too, smiling. Go ahead.
The comic vet says, I'm feeling that they'll take a wide receiver in the first or second round, and every other pick will be on the defensive side of the ball, as it should be.
Who, the Bills?
Yeah, as it should be.
I don't think they're going in the first, though.
You don't think they're going receiver in the first?
No, I actually did my second mock today.
Yeah.
Did you?
And it wasn't receiver, was the second round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now to me, that's more viable. Like I think if somebody's there and we got Lander, I think we can get another receiver in a second. But I don't see the Bills pulling the gun and getting a first round receiver.
Well, how's the depth at receiver this coming draft? Like, can we?
I won't wait till
stand?
next year.
Okay, so
wait for
the
next
first round wide receivers are not really like
Nah,
difference makers.
nah.
Okay.
Plus, there's other things you need, so you don't want to reach. Right. I mean, like I said, the guy from Ohio State, Jakeem Smith, he's a sophomore. Let me get that later, though. I'll wait. Let me get that off.
Bull Gamer says, love the show. Get back, gang. Coming for them Ravens all day. All day.
Yeah.
Thank you, Boo.
Yeah.
With the Ravens game, on the horizon, right? We see it. Like, what's the nervous level from 1 to 10 for y'all?
It was a 9 for me until I had to do some research. Now I'm at a 5 nervous level.
Ooh, okay, hold that.
Yeah.
We're going to get to that because I do want to talk about that game today.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to talk about today? Okay.
Yeah.
Listen.
Hey.
Broncos game already happened.
Hey, I thought we were going to recap, but whatever.
No, we can. We are. We're
Yeah.
going to recap with, but I think we'll have enough time.
We can forget a little bit of.
We never have.
Ravens,
We always play. Oh yeah, we good. Every time.
That's true.
Especially when me and Abe, when you're not here, just me and Abe, I'm like, oh snap! It's only been 15 minutes, and then we get cooking. It's like, oh, I gotta go to work. I gotta go.
Kev says very low. Vu says I'm not scared at all.
Ooh.
Not scared at all.
Okay.
Listen, I can't wait to hear the research you got though, because I had a few things that got me to be a lot more confident about this Ravens game too. But I want to hear what you got.
Mm-hmm.
So let's do this. So, what did you guys want to bring out about this Broncos game that you think the Bills can carry over into the Ravens game?
Mr. Miller, Mr. Miller, show up. Do what you did yesterday. I don't care if you get it.
Yeah.
Mr.
That's
Miller.
right. Yeah.
That's exactly what I need you. I need you to transfer some of that to Javon Solomon too.
You think he's been saving it?
No, but I just think he just feels right now. He just feels right.
To me, the type of player that Von is, and people say, when the playoffs come, people go up. I don't think he goes up. I think that's where he sits at. Like, he's at that level to where, like, he knows this is the playoffs and how important these games is. So, like, when you got good players at good situations, normally they usually shine, and I think that's what it is, because Von's been there plenty of times, right? He knows the atmosphere, he knows it. Like,
No, because Steve, man, Steve.
Can I get that one?
Steve said couldn't find Schmedium or Schmedium Husky in the merch shop. Do I need a special order? I could try, bro, but I might have to stitch that joint up myself, man. I don't know what to say.
101.
I'll see what I can do, though, bro.
Well, no, I think Miller's actually correct. I think he wasn't saving it, but I think it's he heightened because of the stakes now.
Yep.
He knows what it takes, and everybody talks about how you bring the guy in because they've been there. Well, Von's actually been an MVP of a Super Bowl before.
Oh yeah.
Von's actually been, he's been a big deal. He say what you want about him and his production, and the people that watch stats, I'm calling the pot calling Kettle Black because I'm the stats guy. But if you watch what he does on the field, for Groot, for everybody else across the line, for the guys behind him, how much easier the job is for them. you'll see the dividends that having him on the field plays. So I really do think that Von Miller can incite something and bring something about for this game coming up.
I love this point from Cato. He says, if we winning, we got to use Dorian Williams in some way.
Oh, absolutely.
In some way. We definitely did. See, I thought the Broncos' run game would be at least a little bit better than it was. But it's almost like they didn't want to run the ball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
well, yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, looking at their stats, they're not a good – none of their running backs are good.
No.
Like –
but Javonte Williams is a beast
he's
like
not good.
2 years ago.
Well, this year, yeah.
Yeah, when he was a rookie. But
Yeah, this year he's averaging about 3.9 a carry, and he's got, I think, 500 yards on
Well,
the
he got
season,
hurt,
so.
too, though,
Yeah,
last year. He had a serious injury. So.
I mean,
It could be
they
that.
had
It
nothing
could be
estimated.
new scheme.
Yeah, they have what was the other guy that they had. I mean, they knew it wasn't going to work, and time was running out because the Bills were moving, and they can't,
Yep.
And that plays into what everybody knew. Their offense outside of Bo Nix is terrible.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. No bones about it says Josh is going to take the Ravens fucking souls, boy. Souls getting taken on Sunday. Lindsay says, give me a shot and no worries in the world. Boy, you confident, Lindsay. Woo. Man, that's a lot of confidence. Like, all I get is a shot and I got all the confidence? Like, you gotta really believe at that point. You gotta have no doubts whatsoever. Thomas Staples says, I'm late, y'all, so I'm watching the show from the beginning, but the mushroom head joint. The mushroom head joint.
Yeah, Taylor Rapp.
Oh, yeah. Does it bother y'all as much as it bothers me seeing that on the field?
Only when it's unstrapped. Only when it's not like.
What's the difference between a strapped mushroom and an unstrapped mushroom?
Because you got the mushroom on to protect your head. But if it's not strapped, all your harnesses aren't intact. You ain't protecting nothing because the harnesses are not doing what they're supposed to
But
be doing.
isn't it like an unstrapped glove? Like you get a little bit of extra cushion in between. You got the air pocket.
Well, a hand and your dome piece is different. You got a brain cavity in there you're trying to protect. And you know what?
I'm talking about an air pocket between the actual mushroom and the helmet.
Yo, it'd be a mean fart sound. But you know what else pisses me off? And this is me being old.
What?
Dudes wearing two mouthpieces at the same time. For what?
Huh?
Oh.
Yeah. Some guys wear two
So
mouthpieces.
what you got used to when he came in, but he stopped doing it. Keon, he used to wear two of them.
That's right.
The opposite color at the team he was playing.
Yep.
He used to rock two face masks on there. two mouthpieces, but he don't do
Like
it no more.
one for the bottom teeth and one for the top.
No,
No,
the hanging was like
They was hanging on his
identical but different colors.
Yep.
Like why?
That's what I'm trying to find
He
out.
did it
You only
his
got
whole
one
year.
mouth.
He did it his whole career when he was in college, so he brought it to the NFL. He just
So
brought
it's
it to
just
the
a
NFL.
style thing for him.
For him. Yeah.
He's like,
but then
don't like it.
But then you got some guys who like they got one hanging, but then like for example, Lamar, he played with his inside his mouth. He got the what you call it. His is not connected to the thing.
Right.
But he has one
Right.
that's connected. So some people, they just wear the one that they wear and they just leave it hanging sometimes. So I'm like, what's the point of you having it hanging if you go use it?
You know what? I feel like that's a backup one for like a quarterback.
Oh, so like if it fall out,
if
if
it
they
falls
lose
out
it,
or something like I feel like for him
They
maybe
ain't gonna snatch both of these things off
right
me.
because I noticed like Lamar wears the mouth cover and quarterbacks don't wear the full mouth cover.
Yeah.
That doesn't
now
happen.
I think he do it because did you see the grill?
Yeah, he got a new grill. Yeah, that's tacky.
Hey,
Okay.
that's
I'm
the
off for-
that's the $250 million dude, man. He's
Well,
like, yeah.
It really is, but
Yeah.
that I mean,
That's why I kind of when I saw the game, I'm like, words like that. And then I saw Henry with his little tight little chain he got up here that don't hang down no because he don't want to get pulled.
Get the
So
choker.
he get it tight, so he get a little choker joint.
how
But
about
I'm
just
like,
don't wear
bro,
it? We don't
that's what I'm
need
saying.
diamonds on the field.
That's why I hope
Right.
I hope the Bills smack these dudes.
Yo,
man. I
watch your
hope
mouth.
they
I ain't gonna go with
smack
that.
them,
Well,
man.
okay, I do want them to smack them, but I
I
don't
hope they
smack them because of urban culture.
See, that's what I think too, Kev. Kev says Von has been saved for the playoffs. I mean, 5 sacks. If he was playing, not that I don't believe what you're saying, but
Right,
I know Von could play better than what he showed on the field this season.
Well-
if him only have 5 sacks,
Yeah.
I think what he's saying and what Max said was two different things because you asked was Von saving it for the playoffs, but Kev's saying that Von was being saved. In other words, the
Bills.
coaches in the front office say don't play him, but this many snaps. So it's not Von like going out there pulling
well,
up.
yeah.
It's the
Is
fact
he was
that
being
McDermott
kept
said,
from putting that production
So
on the
both
field.
are
Yeah.
true. Both are both
Yeah.
true.
And the other thing too is seeing Von's age, right? If I was that age and I'm playing football, right, I know like, hey, my years are numbered, right?
Mm-hmm.
me personally, I will put my best games when the playoffs come. So not saying that I'm not going to give 100% when I played in the season, but like, so here's the thing.
But he ain't at the age where he can go a full 20.
That's what I'm saying. So like, if I go all out in the season, I'm gonna pay for that. So I'm I got to ice up, I got to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a lot of wear and tear. So I would still play, but like really like, it's the playoffs. I gotta go, even though I'm not 20. I gotta go like I'm 20. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta put everything out there because it's that important.
So basically, he understood and learned the same mistake y'all learned for Tyson's birthday when y'all was playing football.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
We can't move like that no more, fellas.
Exactly.
We can't do what we used to do.
Yeah.
We got to slow it down a little bit, save it for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Ring of Edwin said, Mushroom Head, I thought you guys were talking about the heavy metal band for a minute. Listen, I like rock music. I never heard of Mushroom Head. Forgive me. I apologize. But maybe I'll check them out. Maybe I might like them.
Mushroom Head. That's it. Okay.
Yeah. Let me see. So Steve says Josh always has the worst stats versus Baltimore. Lamar also has bad stats versus the Bills. Very true. If the QBs are nullified, King Henry or Coach is the tiebreaker. You still confident?
Yo, put it on your dad. Put it on your dad. His face is on your dad, not me. Him. His face is everything.
Bro,
He's just so confident. He's like a political peace came over. I was like, you got to capture this.
Yeah.
Yeah. What you think? You still confident?
So it's part of my, but we're gonna save it. But it's part of the reason why I'm confident.
Okay. All right. Perfect. So now this Broncos game.
Mm-hmm.
What in your mind, guys, was the one turning point, or what, like were there any specific points in the game where you were like, okay, now it's over from here on out?
The missed field goal at the end of the half. When they missed that kick, when they doinked off, like, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. That was all the momentum they had. I'm like, well, I mean, just the fact, not even the fact he missed it, the fact that it was that close to it doinked off on a chippy for him, that snatched the soul right out of their locker room. I guarantee it.
Okay.
For me, it was the halftime when they came out. I'm like, yeah, it's over. It's over.
So just halftime.
Halftime.
After halftime, like, because we had the ball first.
Yeah.
So when they came out and I saw I'm driving, I'm like, oh yeah, it's over. It's over.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah. So for me, I think it was the drag by Deion Dawkins when he grabbed James Cook and he was dragging him down the field for like an extra 6-7 yards.
Yeah.
Like that whole scrum for the extra yardage they got. That to me was like, you could try as much as you want, but we gonna make our way down this field, and there's very little you can do. Like, I combined, because I was talking to my pop a little bit earlier about this. I combined that run and the run earlier in the game by James Cook where he just ran right around the edge almost untouched. Mm-hmm. I think he was untouched. Like, for me, that was a show of like, yo, y'all ain't fast enough to get to me. I can not only get to where I want to get in the middle of y'all, but I can run around y'all at the same time. So it's really nothing y'all going to be able to do to stop me this whole game.
That's why I think me and Key. That's why me and Key always be like, why don't they run more outside with Cook? Like, he can beat you to the edge. Yeah. Like, I don't know why they don't do that more. But I think they want the blocking in front of him. Like, I think they want the holes so he don't get touched. But
correct me if I'm wrong. The center and the guards have to be good at pulling for you to run those kind of runs, right?
Usually, yeah. Usually.
Okay, and I don't think Torrance is.
No, he's not moving.
Yeah, he's not nimble enough to really pull. So that might be why.
But to that point, though, why don't you go get those guys when you got somebody?
Exactly.
Like, get those guys.
That's what I'm talking about. That's it right there. That's the point. Why if you want to have such a diverse offense, why don't you get the players that allow you to do that?
Yeah, because in my eyes, I don't worry as much about blocking for Josh as I do for the run game, because Josh says obviously when a quarterback runs, they usually get beaucoup yardage.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason for that. It's because nobody expects it. But when the running back's in the game and he has to get the handoff, and then he has to make something up, there's a reason why good blocking offensive lines have good running backs. So if you want to do something that James Cook is good at, as we see, I'm not gonna poo-poo on Singletary just yet, but I will later.
It's coming later.
But no, I mean when you saw him at that corner, it was just like it was just water. It was just water, and see that's why Himbo to me is just that guy, because we haven't seen that. And so Josh has never had a 1,000-yard rusher besides James Cook. He's never played with one. LaShawn McCoy played with him. He had 500 yards that year. Devin Singletary, okay, he had 870. But that's it.
Man, get a shoulder shrug. That's all he gets, a shoulder shrug. All right.
Okay, he was present, here. But it's just a threat that he has, and I really think I'm not going to get into your thumbnail yet because I'm trying not to. But I will. I think when people talk about running backs and how they come a dime a dozen, it's true usually, but there are a couple that are very rare, few and far between. I think we have one. And I think James Cook is really the Robin to Josh Allen's Batman. I really do.
Okay. Listen, if it means the Super Bowl, I'm with it. I'm ready to bring my Clippers up here. Just get there. Just get there, and we all right. You know what I'm saying? Steve Noble says, can it not be Cook versus Harbaugh to decide the game? And he's calling Harbaugh the special teams coach. I mean, he hasn't been a special teams coach for a long time, but I get what you're saying. Ooh, sorry.
Uh-oh, bless you.
Sweat says once a team starts using trick plays early in the games, it's a wrap for their offense. I thought the same thing for the Steelers when they were playing against the Ravens. You're in the first half and you're trying to do trick plays. You're in the first quarter and you're trying to do trick plays. Like, you really don't have anything on all. And this is okay. I don't want to turn this into a Steelers conversation, but I think if the Steelers had any other offensive coordinator with any other type of real passing game other than Arthur Smith, who's a play-action guy, and they don't even do that very much with Russell Wilson, because Russell Wilson has never been a play-action guy, I think that was a deficit they couldn't overcome. You know what I'm saying? So let's connect that to this game going up now against the Ravens. I think, well, let's take a step back and think about what we saw against the Broncos. Defensively, they did some of the stuff that we talked about. They sent 6. They simulated pressure. They lined 5 up on the line and dropped 1 or dropped 2. They did some different things to make that pretty darn good pass blocking offensive line play honest and make some mistakes. And truthfully, Bo Nix missed a couple of throws just because of pressure. And he's a rookie. Rookies are gonna do that. They're not gonna make the best first read, or they're not gonna immediately think the play through and know where the open guy is supposed to be. They're a rookie. It happens. But the Bills took advantage of that. They did what they were supposed to do. These are the kind of things that we needed to see in the playoffs. Now, do you think that there's any way? Well, okay, let me before I ask this question, is there anything else that you guys want to say about the Broncos game?
Did y'all see how Taylor Rapp was flying like a heat-seeking Mickle when he about to hit that dude and he dropped the pass?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
He was about to take his life away, bro. I was like, yo, if he caught that ball, he would have been cooked.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up.
Yo, he came in there like...
No, I'm glad you brought that up because, yeah, you're right. But that takes you back to the Ray Davis hit. I mean, the defensive, they said it was a dirty hit. It was not a dirty hit.
No.
It was a football play based on a bad throw.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about it. How many guys out here are running 4.4 speed? Have you ever done it before? I have not. I've run pretty fast, but not that fast. And then tell me I can just put the brakes on. How much Madden do you have to play to know that you can just live action just pull up and stop, not knowing if he's going to catch the ball, not knowing where the ball is? The number one target for a safety, a good safety, not saying that guy was good, is to separate man from ball. He was trying to separate man, and he turned his shoulder, and he hit shoulder, helmet to helmet. What else can you ask the man to do? He said, my bad. He didn't mean nothing by it.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, you should get fined. No, he shouldn't. No, he shouldn't. Yeah. By the letter of law, he got the flag. That was it. What are you supposed to tell me what he's supposed to do? Show it to me, Gene Steratore. Show it to me, Steve Atwater, whoever. No, not Steve Atwater. He was a headhunter. Never mind. But, show me what he was supposed to do different. I know it's our guy, but had it happened in the Chargers game, we wouldn't bat an eye about it. We wouldn't have cared about it.
Well, part of this brings about this conversation too, because the helmets they have are just as weaponized as they are protective. You know what I'm saying? Imagine if every player on defense decided to not try to lean with the shoulder when they were making a big hit, but instead they tried to just wrap up and bring down. Imagine if every defensive player was not trying to make a statement with each hit. Imagine if it was a bunch of guys just being technically sound. I think that would absolutely be eliminated from the game. But when you got a bunch of alphas on the field that all got something to prove and they all trying to make an impact and make a statement, you're going to end up with stuff like that, because the biggest and best way to do that, and the way that gets glorified the most from Little League on up all the way through college, is you hit them with that shoulder, or you make them fold. You got to fold them. If you don't fold them and you don't hear that, if you don't hear that air coming out, then you ain't do your job as a safety or a linebacker or a corner, whatever. You know what I'm saying? A defensive lineman. You didn't do your job. So part of it, I think, is the over glorification of the big hit that causes all the, because this, and the reason I say this is this. When I was talking to my pop, he said one of the key turning points for the game was the Ray Davis hit. He said, looking at the tape, the safety had enough time when the ball was first entering the air to run up and intercept that ball. Mm-hmm. The running back wasn't going to get it. If he was reading it like a ball hawk, he would have seen the running back's not going to get there in time. I have enough time to make it there, pick this off, and go for 6. But instead, he was focused on the ooh-ah play. He's trying to juice up his team or gas himself up or whatever the case may be. But that's a missed opportunity. Now, I know these safeties are younger players. Most of their secondary is. But, again, the over-glorification of Little League, middle school, high school, all the way up to college, that big play, that's what leads to stuff like this. You know, and now this guy is just, walking away, tapping his chest, saying, my bad, my bad, my bad. And meanwhile, our running back has got to go through concussion protocol. All because of glorification.
I wouldn't make that generalization. I mean, I get what you're saying, but I don't know the guy, so I don't know if that was for glorification or if he didn't think he was going to make the play. I mean, if you thought
No, I'm not saying he hit Ray Davis in the head for the sake of glorification. What I'm saying is the decision to run over and lay a big hit. Like, I think in the safety's mind, the running back was going to get the ball. Sure. And his point was to try and separate man from ball, right? Mm-hmm. And in his mind, the way to do that is with a big hit.
Right. I mean, the thing is, this is how I look at it. If you're, like you said, this guy, Devin Key, that's who it was. He's not that he's not that sought after. I don't know who this guy is. I don't know much about him at all. But if you think you got beat on a play, the only thing you got left to do against a running back who's supposed to be a thumper is to try to separate him from that ball. You don't have time to think about making a play on the ball because the ball's already caught as far as he knows. If he didn't know if he couldn't track it, he would. If he could track the ball, he wouldn't have been in that bad position anyway. So when I'm looking at the play itself, I've seen targeting, I've seen launching, I've seen these kind of things, and that wasn't it. That was kind of a piss poor even hit. It looked worse than it was because of where the hit landed. Yeah. But we've seen worse hits than that through the course of any game you watch. So when I look at that play, if it wasn't a bill, I don't think we'd even bat an eye about it. I think if it was the other way around, we wouldn't bat an eye about it. You would?
I wish they would teach, and I think it's part of what you guys said about being taught since Little League. This is how you hit, like get lower than an opponent. And mostly, both y'all going low, y'all gonna put your heads down, right? That's how you get low. You put your heads down and you lean with the shoulder. But I wish, like for that particular play. Now, mind you, I didn't play defense. I was an offensive guy. But if I'm running, because I did play special teams, so I was like Matt Collins, right? I was the gunner. So when I'm running full speed, right, I'm going low, but my intentions is I'm not trying to hit him up here. Me personally, I want to hit him in the chest. Because if I hit you in the chest, because as a receiver, I'm catching the ball, instincts, you bring it in. You catch, you bring it in. So if I'm here and I pop you in the chest, I might can launch that ball loose because this is where you at. So I don't know why most guys, they go for, here and up. I don't know why they don't go from center mass. Why don't they just get low and just run right into the chest?
So the issue with that is the receivers are learning now through the speed of the game how to kind of see everything all at once. So they know the pass is coming, but they've already seen who's in the area and who's coming in the fastest. So they're going to contort their body to be able to tuck as they catch the ball. So for receivers nowadays, it's all happening in split seconds. The pass coming into hands and the shoulders then curling. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So it's like all one motion for them. So as they do that, you can see through my motion immediately what happens is the target area where the defender was supposed to hit is gone now. It's all face mask, helmet, and shoulder pads. So if they try to come for my chest and come for the ball, they hitting face mask. The second they hit face mask, that flag is going up.
And true, but now it's a good point. But the way you teach it is, if you want to hit the chest, aim for the waist.
Yes, I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying?
And the other, yeah. So that was the other thing I wanted to touch on too, because what I think also plays a big part in all of this is there's an unspoken rule in the NFL, and there has been since I've been watching and since I've been aware of football. You don't go at players' knees.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You never go at a player's meal ticket. You don't go at nobody's knees.
Right, because back in the day.
Well, you're right. Yeah. They used to flip receivers upside down back in that day.
Yeah. You know I mean, for me as a person, it makes me cringe because of what I went through. But, I mean, in watching Napoleon Kaufman, do you remember that hit?
Yeah.
I don't want to ever think about anything like that ever again. Willis McGay, don't show me none of that.
Yeah.
But no, I'm sorry. I misspoke. It's Brandon Jones was the guy that hit him. But the thing about it, the added caveat to the hit, and I'm not going to park on it, it's not that important to me, but the fact Ray Davis dove. He dove for the ball. Yeah. That changes a lot. If I'm running in trying to hit your chest.
That changes because now you're going this way. I really don't have, like you said, I don't have a target now. I can't aim for it because you're picking it up.
I've already committed. See, I can see if it was a Travis Hunter hit from when they played Colorado State last year. Yeah. When dude just took him on the sideline, shoulder to help. That was targeting. He got ejected. But this was something you just can't avoid. Yeah. The flag is suffice. It is what it is. Yeah. The letter of the law is the letter of the law.
You want to know the best, clean, vicious hit I've ever seen in football?
What?
Reggie Bush. You know what I'm talking about?
Who does that?
No, I don't think I
remember when he got folded up by the Eagles?
Yo.
And he crawled off the field?
So they hit him with a
I'm going to find it, man.
It was like a wide receiver screen, but he was a running back screen. So he threw the ball. The dude was like, oh, really? Full speed. Like, I think he really was going like 4-4. Full speed. Soon as he caught it, boom.
Everybody at home.
Reggie Bush got up and went back down.
Now, here we go. Everybody at home. Just go ahead and it's not an injury. Just go ahead and YouTube the Reggie Bush hit.
To me, that's the best of both worlds. That's how you separate somebody from the ball, and it be legal.
Reggie Bush right here.
This was, so Reggie Bush was
Reggie Bush right there. Watch this.
Screw. That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
Watch this. Look at him. And that's the aftermath.
I'm okay.
I'm gonna go ahead. No, I'm gonna go ahead back.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
But again,
no, you're not.
But again, this is my point. This is the way. This is exactly what I'm talking about. The big noise you just made just now. The excitement in the moment of him getting blown up like that. That's part of the problem in my mind because again, going back to my main point about the whole play, if I'm the safety, the smarter play is picking the ball off for 6, not blowing up Ray Davis. And I'm not saying that his plan was to hit Ray Davis in the head, but his plan was to do to Ray Davis what this dude just did to Reggie Bush.
Yeah, I see. That's where I disagree with that.
How?
So me, you said the best play. To me, you trying to pick that ball off. If you miss, you're cooked. So for me, the safest thing to do is because if I don't get it right when I had it, I'm gonna miss it, and I'm going this way. He going this way. So for me, just to make sure, to me the smartest hit is to hit the player.
Well, yes and no. Yes and no. See, I think there's too much risk with the flags nowadays to try for a hit like that. And I get that it's it's not as black and white as either pick the ball off or hit the guy. You know what I'm saying? You can swat the ball down too. There's that option. Or you can get in position to rap tackle the guy.
But that's what I'm getting at. I don't think he was in position. I think he knew he was out of position. I think he knew he screwed up.
Well, right. That's the nature of football. But again, that's the reason why these players need to get better at their mechanics and get better at the fundamentals as opposed to trying to compensate with speed and big hits. Like that should not be the way safeties play football. I get that it's exciting, but we're going to keep having this conversation over and over again. We're going to talk about CTE. We're going to talk about all the stuff is going to keep coming up as long as we keep seeing hits like that. And this is going to keep being an issue. This is going to keep being a legal conversation. This is going to keep being people suing each other conversation. Like it's to me, there are things that can be done to alleviate that situation. And could the safety have slowed down at that point if he was really paying attention? When you look at the position of the defensive player, his back was turned to the play by the time he got there. He was trying to lead with his right shoulder. So it wasn't even like he was watching the whole play come in.
See, that's where I don't think he was trying to hit him with the right shoulder. I think he was trying to he had his hands like this and turned. He turned his body.
That was after he hit him, though.
How you...
Did you watch it in slow motion? Did you see when it happened in slow motion? Okay, so listen, I'll go back and watch it again. But when they showed it the next two times,
he knew he was bracing. He braced for contact. He was not trying to lead with the shoulder. He was bracing for contact.
I'm not saying that he was trying or not trying anything.
But you just said he was going for the big hit. He was not. What I'm saying is he was trying to avoid the contact that was coming.
How do you try to avoid the contact by curling and leaning your shoulder and tucking your head?
Have you ever been in that situation where you hit somebody like that?
No. Because I picked the ball off.
If you're in that situation where you hit somebody like that, I've been there in basketball, football, all the above. If you see a guy coming, you're trying to get. You see guys do this all the time. It's the same thing. You see guys try to get out the way. Excuse me, whatever.
I get it, but what I'm saying to you is I'm a living example of somebody who chooses the other way. Like I go for the ball. I don't go for the player.
But you're saying you go for the ball. My whole point of the matter is he didn't know where the ball was. So you can't go for something you don't know where it is.
Well, that's my point. Again, this all goes back to what I've been saying. Work on your fundamentals, work on your mechanics, study tape better so you know what you're doing out there. And you don't have to compensate with speed and big hits.
If that was the case, then most of the people in the NFL wouldn't be in the NFL because everybody studies tape. Everybody knows what they're doing. They're at the highest level of everything.
Listen,
but it still happens.
That is not my problem. What that really boils, I'm so serious when I say this. I'm very serious when I say this. When you look at the way recruiting is done nowadays, when you look at what is successful, most people are like, you got the raw talent, just come on, we'll work with what you got. That's what most people are doing. Like it's not part of this is on my part some small semblance of hypocrisy because I get on Sean McDermott all the time for wanting polished players. But when it comes to recruiting these children from young ages, like not very many coaches spend a whole lot of time on form tackling. Not anymore. Not from back when I was in the day. I don't see that much of it. My daughter was a cheerleader just not that long ago, so I watched Little League for a minute. So I just wanted to be understood. Like, while you're saying that he wasn't intending, I'm saying even if he didn't intend, the fact that he got there with a tucked shoulder and a tucked helmet is still too much. He could have chose a different way. And if the defense for him not choosing a different way was he was out of position, well, that's his fault.
Like I said, the flag was warranted. However, there's nothing else you could do there. I said the flag was warranted. I mean, I'm not saying it wasn't a penalty by the letter of the law. But when you play in the heat of the battle, you're going to do things that don't get seen. Yeah. You're going to do things that are not identified by somebody on the outside looking in. But, when I see contact coming, okay, so if I go to basketball, for instance, I'm Tyson size, and I set up for a pick, and I see somebody my size coming full steam ahead. What is he supposed to do? Is he going to stand there and just like this, take it? Nope. He going to ball up. He going to put his shoulder in. That's what they do. It's a natural instinct, and it has nothing to do with studying. It has nothing to do with what you've done before.
So it's okay because it's a natural instinct?
I said it's a flag. It's a flag, but that's why he did it. See, a natural instinct and a reaction is different than an intent. If he's intending to hit the guy, separate man from ball, fine. But when he's running up and he turns his back, and that's why you get a shot, he could have ran through the dude. Yeah. He definitely could have ran right through him, but he didn't. There's a reason for that because he tried to pull up.
So you think that if Ray Davis had caught the ball, the safety would have did the same exact thing?
If Ray Davis would have caught the ball, the safety would have been on his butt because Ray Davis would have been diving for a
with
badly
what
thrown
kind
ball.
of hit? With what kind of hit? At the speed he was going, at the angle he was going at.
Because Ray Davis would have lowered his shoulder, and it would have been shoulder to shoulder.
But it still would have been a big hit. It still would have been the same kind of hit.
Because football's a collision sport. That's why they were pads.
I get it.
Okay.
But what I'm trying to tell you is, you just proved my point. If the angle and the speed with which the safety was traveling to get to where the ball was going to is the same in both circumstances, it would have been the same, except maybe the last second and a half, right when the player realized that, oh shoot, he's not getting the ball, he's dropping it. If he sees that Ray Davis has got the ball, even if Ray Davis tucks, it's still going to end up being a flag and a big hit.
No, if Ray Davis has the ball.
If Ray Davis had caught the ball right at the point where the safety met him, which is pretty much what happened, because right as the ball was hitting the ground, the safety was there making contact with Ray Davis. So what I'm saying is, at that point, if Ray Davis had caught the ball's ahead of Ray Davis, he's pulling it in at that point, and at the same time, the safety's coming in with his shoulder and a tucked helmet, and Ray Davis is trying to tuck his shoulder in his helmet. It's still the same kind of hit.
It doesn't look the same though, because Ray Davis was airborne.
Bro,
it don't
what
look
are we
the same.
talking about? Okay, all right.
It doesn't look the same.
Listen, we don't have to agree. I get what you're saying. I don't see how you don't see the logic of what you're saying. Like it doesn't
make
make
logic, because to me, if somebody that's been in the trenches, I know what it's like to have a reaction. I
Right.
know what it's like for that.
Just because you've been in the trenches don't mean that that's the end all be all though.
I've been through, but the point, it doesn't matter. See, we're going logic versus somebody that's done something before. I've been in that situation, and I can tell you, he could have did something different, like you said. However, he didn't. Why? Because the game
You're
happens
saying
fast.
this as if I've never been there.
No, I'm not saying, I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm saying, if you're telling me you know how to pull up and you've read all this and watched all this film, perfect. But he didn't. The point is, football happens. It's a collision sport. Had he caught the ball, Ray Davis would try to put the same hit on him, and he wouldn't have felt that way had he not dove for a ball. That would not have happened.
So it means nothing to you that a whole, Buffalo Bills alum is looking at this saying he had enough time to get there and intercept the ball. That means nothing?
Respectfully, no, because I have my own opinion.
All right. Cool. We can move on. All right. So, listen, Aaron, I'm going to need you to calm down, my man. I get you want to get in here and talk about this Ravens game. We ain't talking about that just yet. All this Lamar talk. Listen, you're going to get your shot on Sunday.
No, he said something about Cook, too.
Huh?
He's talking about Cook, too.
What did he say about Cook?
He said Cook. Wait, hold on. Because I asked him. He said Cook. He said Cook carried Allen, but the Buffalo media hoist up Allen or something like that. Basically, that's the gist of what he said.
Let me see.
Oh, there it is. Cook carried Josh, the media concoction as usual.
All right, so let's get to the topic real quick before we hop on this Ravens game. So I want to talk about what James Cook really did on Sunday. And if we look at the numbers that he put up in the playoff game, there aren't many games that he has that look better than what he had in this playoff game, right? And for him to have performed as well, if not better, as his best game in the playoffs, where it's a step up in competition, it's a step up in stakes and all that stuff, and he just balls out like this, the man definitely earned some dollars in this game, 100%, right? And we're going into the offseason now, where he's going into the last year of his contract. Not yet, not until we get to the Super Bowl, as far as going into the offseason, but this coming offseason after we win the Super Bowl, James Cook is going to be looking for a new deal. He may not say it. He may not need to say it. I think his play is speaking for him right now.
He don't really talk much.
That's fine. That's fine. But here's what I think has now become an issue with James Cook. See, before, I think it was roughly justifiable. I'll say roughly justifiable, because there might have been some people, to my right, who would have been pissed if they didn't re-sign Cook. But
What?
but I do think that it would have been easier to get past had he not had a game like this in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Because at that point, it's like, all right, we got Ray Davis, we still got Ty Johnson. We can add another bigger running back, or we can add another speedy guy or something like that, whatever, to fill that role. And Ray Davis didn't look bad. You know what I'm saying? So hey, there's optimism there. Let's see what Ray Davis has got. We like Ty Johnson. We like what he does. Let's see what they got. We can use the money that we were going to pay Cook and put it somewhere else, put it on a defensive line or put it on a corner, or let's go get a safety to play next to what's the guy's name? What's the kid's name? Cole. So now we find ourselves in a situation where if he keeps playing like this, he's building leverage. Right? And you cheesing hard as heck about that. But in you guys' mind, is that leverage good for the Bills or bad for the Bills with respect to what they're going to have to fill in the offseason?
I think regardless of the outstanding game he had today, if he wants to get paid, why? If I'm the Bills organization, why wouldn't I pay him? Like, you reward good players for giving you good stuff. Like, you're supposed to reward those good players. So because we drafted you and you balled out, yeah, you earn that second contract, and this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So
even if it's at the running back position and they don't typically get paid and all that.
Because here's the thing. So why I wouldn't want to be just me personally, I wouldn't be the organization to where I draft you and I use you up. Oh, all right, now I'm going to let you go because I'm going to pay somebody else. So I don't want to pay you what you're worth. I'm not going to do that. If I'm building a culture where people want to be here, want to play here, I'm going to prioritize my players. So, again, if I draft you and you come in here and you ball out, yes, sir, how much money would you like? Because you did exactly what first of all, I knew you had something in you, but the fact that you just proved it in the NFL at a high level, that guarantees that, to me, that warrants me that you deserve the pay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna take off my James Cook fan club sweatshirt for a moment. I agree. I agree a lot with what you said. Actually, I agree with what you said. Period. The thing about Cook is, it's not a potential thing. We've seen it on the field. It'd be crazy for them to be like, okay, you're good. We saw you just tie O.J. Simpson's record. We saw you just run 2,000-yard seasons. All right, you're good. Thank you, but no thanks. I mean, if he says he wants to be a top paid running back in the league with Saquon out there with Derek out, okay,
to me that's a little different.
That's a little much. But see,
okay.
I look at what San Francisco did with McCaffrey. They signed him because he's not just a running back. And James Cook, I know he has his drops, but he's dynamic in the pass game and he's dynamic in the run game. So this is something that we saw yesterday. Sean Payton, Mr. Wizard himself, said we can't allow that to happen. But guess what? You forgot about one person. That's Josh Allen. Yeah. If you're going to put all your apples in a Cook basket, which is what you want teams to do, then Josh Allen can feast. And that's what you saw in the second half. Yep. He didn't have 100 yards in the first half. I mean, he had no touchdown. Bo Nix was out playing him in the first half. But then when they started focusing on James Cook, guess what? Yep. Josh got to come out and play. Yep. So, I mean, I think it really does bode well for the Bills to gauge his interest and gauge what it would cost to keep him here, regardless of that running back dime a dozen deal.
And then honestly, I think that's what Brady wanted from day one. That to me is his design of his offense. I'm going to use the running game to help Josh out in the passing game. Because you think about it, this is the first time ever we had 30 passing touchdowns and 30 rushing touchdowns. Mm-hmm. Crazy, right? And I think, I really think that's because of that's all on Joe Brady. I really think that's all Joe Brady. Yeah,
I give Joe Brady massive flowers when I look at the offense that we ran with what we had. And I hate when people say Lamar is this because his weapons are okay, but why you discount Keon Coleman? Why you discount Khalil Shakir? Why discount Kincaid and Knox? They're not nobodies. They're just not what somebody. Right. That's the Buffalo Bills mentality. We always want what somebody else has as opposed to what we have. I'm not saying they're great, but they're not whatever's in this jar.
Right, they ain't trash.
Yeah.
So I just found this, and to be clear, all I did was type in James Cook market value. Mm-hmm. Now, my conspiracy aficionado over here, tell me what you think about this. I typed up James Cook market value. Uh-huh. First thing that comes up is Trade value on the open market is 19.55, which ranks him 12th amongst running backs and 30th overall. His maximum trade value within the past 60 days is 25.34.
Okay.
How does this information end up at the top of a Google search for James Cook's market value?
Because everybody wants to know.
I'm telling you, listen, I don't be surprised if somebody comes on draft day like, yo, I know you thinking about re-signing the dude, but we willing to give you this to move up if we can have James Cook, and we'll re-sign him. He's off your books. You get the higher draft pick. It's an additional draft pick. It's another rookie contract for you. You already got Ray Davis. Do you take that trade?
What am I getting? What am I taking what am I using the pick for? Because if I'm doing another running back, then to me it just
Well, no.
Point.
You be the GM. You be the GM, right? I call you up and I say, yo, man, I want James Cook. I'm willing to give you 25.34. So that's probably putting him at about a second or third round pick, somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's in the upper echelon of running back. So second or third round pick, you choose. You tell me which one you want, and I say, okay, fine, take it. Second round pick. You want a second round pick? Bet. I'll give you a second round pick. You do whatever you want with it, but I want James Cook. You ain't got to re-sign him. I'll re-sign him.
Mm-hmm.
You taking that trade?
No.
For a second round pick?
Nope.
Battery low.
Because now I gotta replace him.
Yeah, here you go.
On which one?
Yours.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the thing. You know, and in years past, it's been easy to replace a running back.
Right.
We've seen what we had to go up against. You know, and even LaShawn McCoy, which was one of my favorites at the time. But this one at 23, 24 years old, I mean, there's a lot left in the tank. There's a lot left. I mean,
And what I like about him, sorry, my bad, Keith.
Go.
What I like about him though,
mm-hmm.
you look at his first year, he had 89 carries. His second year, he had 237, 1,100 yards.
Mm-hmm.
So he back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. Key, this year he did it on 207. Like I said, he has the lowest amount of carries for the yardage that he has.
Yeah.
So guess what? I'm not burning him out.
No.
He's not getting all these carries like all these other running backs doing. Because you know what happens? Like, you get all these carries, you start to wear down. Your body starts to wear down.
Right.
But Cook is, I think, the volume that he's running and the yards that he's producing is heaven. Like,
Yeah.
it's exactly what I want. I'm not putting too much on him, but he's getting me what I need.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the thing. You think about he ran 4.7 last year and 4.9 this year, so he actually had an uptick in yards per carry. But you also got the what I liked is the fact Josh Allen doesn't have 15 rushing touchdowns because we give it to somebody else to do that.
He got
That's
16.
his job. He got 16.
The funny thing is he has the exact amount of touchdowns as Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry.
Mm-hmm.
But they have 1,000 yards more rushing.
Yep. And how many more carries?
150. Like, that's crazy.
A ton. So that's the thing. You know, people look at and they say, you know, James Cook is in the top 5. Okay. But, I mean, who really is anymore? You know, what constitutes? I mean, this is it. And if he was with somebody, not Josh Allen, if he had some wide receivers around him, would he not be better?
Right.
I mean, right now he's a focal point. You know, right? That's what he is. He's a focal point offense, and he's sharing the backfield with 2 other guys that are good.
Right.
Ray Davis and Ty Johnson. So if you're looking at the accompaniment that he has in that backfield, and still ripping off 1,000 yards, 16 touchdowns, and he's 5'10", 195 pounds. He's getting red zone touches for scores.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the score he had yesterday. He ran over somebody and turned it up and fell forward.
And for the most part, for the first 3 years, his longevity, like, he's on the field. 2022, he played 16 games.
Mm-hmm.
2023, he played all 17. This year, he played 16. Like,
Yeah.
he's not injury prone, right? He's producing. He's doing what you need him to do. So, like, to me, these are the type of players you hang on to. You don't let these players walk. You don't let these players go because of the impact that you're getting right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you look at the speed that he has. You look at the way he reads block. I mean, and the play Aaron was talking about earlier with regards to when Deion Dawkins carried him. If you saw, he took the hit and went low and started his leg drive. That's not something a running back, a little scat back does. Scat backs try to get down. LaShawn McCoy. I never took hits because I turned my body. I went out of bounds. I did this at the third. You know, but Cook is now in the trenches. He's getting it done in multiple ways. And I like the fact that that we're having this conversation about somebody because it's not going to be a wide receiver. Amari Cooper's not somebody I want to keep in Buffalo next year. You know, I want to find somebody that can do what he does. Is Curtis Samuel going to take a step? You know, he was the leading receiver yesterday, but that's not saying much when you figure what was it, 48 yards, something like that. Yeah, 63 yards and 48 was on one catch.
I think it's 50. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you figure, I mean, it was good, but I'm tired of our leading receiver always being a leading receiver off of one catch.
Right.
You know, I think Shakir went 6 for 6 for how many yards did he have? I don't even know how many yards Shakir had, but you think about
Shakir had 61.
Okay.
Samuel had 68, but yeah, one catch, 55 yards.
Yeah, so you figure that, and then you got Keon Coleman three targets, one catch. Who was the other? Who am I missing? Amari Cooper 3 targets, 2 catches. What was it, for 8 yards, something like that?
Yep. And then you got Mac Hollins 1 for 19, Ty Johnson 2 for 26, my man Dawson Knox 2 for 38, Kincaid 3 for 47.
Can we talk about the Mac Hollins personal foul? I mean, yeah, he stepped over dude, but didn't dude grab his leg too, and he was kicking off of him?
So it was like basically.
Well, that's not why the
like
flag was thrown.
like he grabbed his leg, but when he pushed off, he tried to kick him. When he pushed off.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
you know
kick
what I
did
mean?
it. So I'm like,
Yeah, but according to the rule, though, the flag was for him stepping over the player.
Yeah.
That's the unsportsmanlike.
I can't step over you. This is
No,
That's intimidation.
I want to step over. I'm 6'6". I'm stepping over everybody.
It's taunting. You can't-
Allen
you
Iverson.
cannot-
Oh, he meant that. He
Yeah.
meant every That's why he laughed about it. He was like, this dude, this is him. He like, this your guy? I mean, it was Surtain, wasn't it?
But yo, did you see the energy, man?
Yeah.
I love that. I love to see that dude in the
Yeah.
Bills uniform, like that intensity, that energy. Like, let's go. Like, I love to see that.
I don't mean no disrespect when I say this at all to Mac Hollins,
Oh God.
but I'd like to see that from a good player, not Mac Hollins. I don't mean no disrespect when I say that, but the man has been a gunner most of his career. He's got a Super Bowl ring, like you said, with the Eagles.
But what
Respect.
He caught one ball, and he got the first down, and then he gave it up. But that's not the point. He gave it the 15 yards. You know, he gifted it back. He felt bad for Denver. That's what it was. How can I help these guys?
Listen, Vu, real quick on the James Cook stuff. Vu is not trying to let James Cook go at all.
Who was my blood brother?
Not. So, yeah. So Kev says that's a good thing. I wish someone on defense could make us pay them. That's a good point too. Yeah. Sweat says the Bills have a running back problem. Cook, Johnson, Davis, and Gore Jr. Somebody got to go.
He said Gore Jr.
He did say Gore Jr. Listen, we don't know. We don't know what he could become.
No, he got to say, Auntie, chill. Auntie, chill. He got to stay.
No Bones About It says, realistically, Cook is somewhere between the 6th to 10th best running back in the league.
Who said that? Who said that?
No Bones About It.
Yes, no bones about it, my man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Look, I don't think I disagree with that. I don't think there are very many running backs better than James Cook. But again, if that's true, then you're talking about paying James Cook top 10 running back money.
Hey, if you a top 10 running back, you should be paid as a top 10 running back.
Okay. Steve.
Okay, so let's do. Well, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Steve says, with Cook getting paid, is he special or just another guy? With his twitch and receiving ability, he may be worthy. He's no Singletary.
Tommy, I ain't even say it.
I agree with that.
No, this is an honest question because I'm not a football guy. Really. Who are okay? So say Saquon is at the end.
What's that? He's gonna ask the question. You ready for it? I can give it to you right now.
Let's do it.
Who you got?
You want the top 10 running backs right now?
Yeah, no Derrick Henry or Saquon. That's it.
You said no.
Not them because I felt like they're at the end of it.
So after that, so you got Jahmyr Gibbs,
Okay, yeah.
B. John Robinson,
Okay,
right? You got Josh Jacobs.
yeah.
After Josh Jacobs, it's really which was in that category, but he had an off season because he was hurt.
Alvin
Christian
McCaffrey.
Christian McCaffrey.
Mm-hmm.
So usually he's in that tier too.
Oh yeah, sure.
Right.
Sure.
So you got him next. You got. It's supposed to be Brees Hall, but he didn't have he didn't put out the output. Honestly, you know who's next?
Who's that?
Chuba Hubbard.
Chuba's nice.
Chuba Hubbard.
Chuba's nice.
He's next. Then you got Aaron Jones. Then after Aaron Jones,
Where you put Kenneth Walker? Is he up there or no?
I think Cook's better than him. I don't think he's top 10.
Okay.
Better than who?
Kenneth Walker.
Oh, That's tough. That's tough. Kenneth Walker's got a physicality that Cook can't do with his body size.
Also, he can't catch like Cook.
Yeah, yeah. No, I listen. I'm not saying that, like, not every running back can do everything that everybody else can do. I mean, Christian McCaffrey is probably the best at everything all at once. Well, maybe Saquon Barkley is. I think Saquon Barkley is probably the best at everything. Right, in terms of, can he catch the ball? Yes, he can catch the ball. He catch the ball great. Can he run? Yes, he can run. Can he juke? Yes, he could juke. Can he stiff arm? Yes. Can he hurdle?
Can he do it backwards, though?
Nobody else. I've never seen anybody else do that, right? So real quick, what is NFL? Oh, Fox Sports, I'm sorry, has the 2024 best NFL running backs: Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, Bijan Robinson, Breece Hall, Jonathan Taylor, Jahmyr Gibbs, Kyron Williams. Let me see. Scroll down a little bit further here.
Mark Kurgan said Joe Mixon. Why'd you do that?
I hate Joe Mixon.
Why?
Joe Mixon is good though.
Yeah, but see, Joe Mixon took the Pro Bowl from Cook. And
Nick Chubb ain't the guy no more. I don't know why he's on this list.
No. Listen, Mixon averaged 4.1 a carry. He barely had 1,000 yards. No, he can't catch like Cook. No, he's not that. He's not that. Listen, what I like about Mixon, he has an attitude. He has a chip.
Yeah.
So. Same way like Mac Hollins do, you're going to get that energy from Mixon every game. He's going to bring it every game, but his production is not always there. Like, I can rely on Cook. I know what Cook's going to give me. Mixon is hit or miss.
Really?
Yes.
He's always been so good in fantasy. No, I'm serious. I really like.
Listen, I had him in fantasy. That's why I got rid of him. Because what happens is,
this year their offensive line was bad though. Like I understand what you're saying. But last year with the Bengals and this year with the Texans, he played behind two really bad offensive lines. But again, to me, all of these guys are ahead of James Cook. In my mind, like Jonathan Taylor, for sure. I don't think that would be even debated, right? Kyron Williams is probably very close to James Cook.
I agree.
I would put those two together.
Yeah.
So maybe you could say he's 10th. You tie him with Kyron Williams.
Who's the other ones up there?
Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, Bijan Robinson, Breece Hall, Jonathan Taylor, Jahmyr Gibbs. Kyron Williams is at 9. James Cook could probably take Nick Chubb's place at 10.
Why is he on
the
list?
Which part should be off the list?
Who?
Breece Hall. He's not better than James Cook.
I would take James Cook.
Prove it to me.
I would
say prove it to me.
Look at his rookie season. He was hurt last year.
Guess what? James Cook ain't never hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's what I'm saying. Bruce Hurt was hurt 2 years. And this is his fourth season?
Breece Hall?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what Breece Hall does with a top 2 quarterback in front of him, and then we can judge him. We can judge him.
But all the others running backs, 100%. I think he's right there. I agree. He's right there with Kyron Williams.
Yeah.
To me, those guys are kind of irreplaceable because Kyron Williams, he can catch. He's got the same speed that James Cook got. Very similar running backs, but Kyron Williams is a little bit beefier.
Yeah, for sure. Steve said
I put Bucky Irvin soon.
Yo,
he's coming.
He's coming up.
He's my fantasy for next year.
That's the dude.
I'm definitely going to grab him.
Wait, do I have him in our league? Because I have him in like 2 leagues.
Did you?
Yeah, I got him
in a couple leagues.
Yeah. I was like, this is somebody nobody's gonna know about. Bucky.
Yeah.
I might drop out of that. Sorry, Roy. I might drop out of that 6-team joint that we in. Like, I love the high scoring and I love the huge team, but dude, we playing the championship in week 18. Like that's
tough.
Yeah, I don't want to do that no more. Laura says, "LOL, Hollins is scrappy and I love it." Okay. Listen, if that ends up being what he's known for and all of that stuff helps us get a ring, fine. But I don't know.
You know what? This is what we're going to do.
Maybe I'm an elitist, and I never thought of myself as being an elitist, but I need more than that.
I'm going to invite Mac Hollins or Sean McDermott in here when they win the Super Bowl to save your face.
Huh?
I'm going to invite Mac Hollins and Sean McDermott here to save your face when they win the Super Bowl.
I would love that.
That would be fun. See, then Mac could put it on his YouTube channel, or his Instagram page, how to save, right? Because he showed us how to do tie a extension cord last time.
Yeah.
That's what he did. Oh, you follow him now?
No. was trying to sound like
we
I
had
understand what
something
you
here,
said.
man.
No, sorry.
No.
Okay, so Montgomery is good, but I don't think very many people would put him top 10. Montgomery is very good, Steve. And yeah, Mark said Bucky Irving was good, so he agrees with you too. No Bone says McCaffrey is washed, injuries catching up.
Yeah, this is what, his third season hurt?
How old is he now?
McCaffrey, I give him 28.
28. Think so?
Just guessing.
Let me see. She's 28 years old.
Yep.
And he's going into his prime. Well, no. Prime for running backs is right up until
I would say
26, 27.
Yeah, I would say
24 to 27.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, right in that range. So he's about to be well out.
And he's always hurt, so it escalated a lot. Because you're thinking about what's the guy, Monty Ball from Wisconsin, who came into the league running he had 300 carries a season. That didn't look. Ask Denver how that went.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're gonna get to Aaron's part of the conversation here. This Ravens game.
You know what? I'm mad Aaron's gonna be going after this show because I like Aaron. I like Aaron around.
Maybe he'll stick around.
I like him.
You're probably right, though. If the Bills win this game, we'll never see Aaron again. We'll never see him again. He'll never come back here. All right.
I just picture him saying, if you won't. No.
Right. If he does, cool. But I'm going to snapshot that bad boy. You better. Because if you don't. All right. So I'll start the conversation here. This Ravens game is probably slightly bigger in anticipation going in than the 13 seconds game was.
Oh, 100%.
Right?
100%.
It's both the number one and number two guys for in MVP voting, and now we have this All-Pro snub looming over Josh Allen and looming over Lamar Jackson. Did I say Josh Jackson?
No, you
said it right.
I said it right? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm trying to think and process as I'm getting my point out here. So there's a lot of build up to this game, and I actually don't think this is going to be a tight game. I think this is going to be a battle. I think it's going to be a high scoring game, a lot like the 13 seconds game was. But with that being said, do we think the Bills will make the fundamental changes defensively to combat this Ravens team right at its strength at the start of the game? What I mean by that is, do they go to a base 4-3 instead of playing nickel?
No,
but I think they
wait.
They
should.
I think they wait. Yeah. They wait to see how he's doing in the run game. If it's successful or if they turn him up, then they might switch. But I don't think they start off that way. I think they wait to see how the running game is affecting the game first.
Okay. Is that what y'all would do if y'all were the head coach?
Absolutely not. No. Absolutely not.
No. Okay.
I would, like I said, I would, and I don't know why I don't think about doing this. The single high, make Taron Johnson that quasi safety. You can still have your three linebackers because they're protecting Taron Johnson.
Right.
If you don't want DeMar, take him off. You don't want Taylor, take him off. Let Taron Johnson fill in that slot because everybody's gunning at Taron Johnson in the run game.
Exactly.
So why not fix it? You get a ball hawk. It's a safety position.
Yeah.
And you get your three steadfast linebackers behind you off the D line. So, I mean, it's the perfect win-win.
Right. The nickel position is probably the closest thing to the safety position in terms of the defensive backfield. That's why we see a lot more safeties now transitioning to nickel corners, and nickel corners transitioning to safeties and switching back. The Rams have three guys that can do it. So I think it would not be difficult for Taron Johnson to do that. To some degree, I think, there may be some trepidation, I'll say. I won't say full-on fear, but just there might be some caution, some trepidation to putting Taron Johnson back there at safety because he may be great at it, and then you got to pay him. You know what I'm saying? And right now we're in the day and age of the NFL where we're not trying to pay safeties. Right. If we can't get them to come in good as rookies, we ain't, we'll just find another guy and stick them back there, So going into this Ravens game now, and Mac, I'll divert the conversation to you and your research, because I know one of the things that people are talking about, in even in the national media, the Bills' fundamental weakness in the run game defensively, and how that matches up with a very, very strong run game with the Ravens. But you don't see it that way, huh?
No. Here's why. So I looked up Derrick Henry versus the Bills. And the one thing that people are not taking consideration, or they're not looking at, is this will be the 7th game Derrick Henry has against the Bills. Okay? The big difference is Derrick Henry is not the king when he comes to Buffalo.
Really?
Yes. When he comes to Buffalo, 56 yards, 11 attempts, no touchdowns. 25 rushing yards, 11 attempts, 1 touchdown.
Wow.
All those are at Buffalo.
Well, even take it a step further, he doesn't even play that good against Buffalo anyway. I mean, he usually
he has 2 good games.
Right.
The one in 2021 where we played in Tennessee, he had 142 for 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that was the Josh Norman game.
Yep, where he
where he did what he did. We won't revisit that.
Right. And then the current one, 199, 1 touchdown.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's just 2 games.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. He is the cream of the crop when it comes to running backs, and he will do that to a lot of teams, but he hasn't done that in Buffalo. On the road, yes, but I think it's a lot because, one, Derrick Henry really only balls out on the road against certain teams. Mainly, it was Jacksonville. He had Jacksonville's number. He used to put up big numbers against Jacksonville every year. 200-yard rushes easily. But, when he play us here, it's not the same. I don't know if it's a difference between grass or turf. I don't know what it is. But it's something when he comes to Buffalo where he's not as dominant as he is when we're playing playing at his house. So, looking at the numbers, I'm not saying that he can't go off because he's with the Ravens. They're on the playoff team. They're looking hot. But when he comes to Buffalo, he does not have good games.
Okay. Kev says no. Let J17 will score early and often. Attack. Pull Lamar out of the deep water, making King Henry worthless. I think the spirit of that comment is basically just you force the Ravens to play from behind. That's something that we have not seen a lot of this season, and I think that is something that the Bills can absolutely do. I had hoped that the Bills would respect the Broncos a little bit more and take the ball first. One of the things I said in the pregame yesterday was I think Sean's mindset when it comes to accepting giving up the first possession and taking the ball at half is people think, oh, well, you get to double dip. Now, we say that, but when's the last time we've seen them actually double dip? When's the last time we've seen them actually work to go get that touchdown before the half and then come out and have a plan to score another touchdown?
That's one of the biggest gripes with McDermott. Not from me, but from the national media, from local media, is that he doesn't have urgency when he knows he's getting the ball after the half. So,
right.
We've always been screaming. The Eagles game comes to mind.
Exactly.
We've been screaming, yo, you got a chance, double dip, do it. But they just won't do it.
Right.
In basketball, they call it a rushing the clock.
Yep.
At the end of the quarter, end of the half, you try to get a 2 for 1. So you got 24 seconds. I'm going to try to score as fast as possible to get the ball back and try it again. But McDermott doesn't have that. That's why he runs his clock, why he calls timeouts, why he does all these things. And that's the gripe with McDermott when people really sit back and complain about him.
Yeah. Looking at the way that he seems to, because obviously I'm not in the room with him, but the way that he seems to use analytics for his own benefit, and I'm not saying use for his own benefit in any kind of sly kind of way, like I'm trying to, put him on blast or anything, but I just the way that he seems to use analytics is more geared towards, I don't want to give a team momentum scoring points going into the half. I'd rather have the ball before the half and kill it or if we have a great shot that just, comes out of nowhere and now all of a sudden we find ourselves at the 30, yeah, okay, fine, let's go for it. We're at 30. At the very least, we'll get a field goal. You know what I'm saying? But he's not going to get the ball at their own 20 and be like, let's go down and score a touchdown. He's not going to work for that. If it happens, it happens, but he would have to see something on the first couple of plays for him to be like, all right, let's do it, And that to me is it's not a championship mindset. I'll put it like that. It's not a championship mindset. Not saying that he has to be uber aggressive, but if the idea of you giving the other team the first possession and saying, I think, and this is essentially what any team is saying when they give the other team the ball first, I think my defense can stop you from scoring, and now you've already had your first possession. Now I'm going to go ahead and stay ahead, and I get the ball at the half to go up even further. You know what I'm saying? And to me, that mindset only works if you plan on being aggressive before the half. That's the only way that makes sense. If the idea is, well, let's give them the ball first and let's see what they do on offense so that we can make our adjustments on defense, you could do that at any point in the game. You don't need to do that with the kickoff. If anything, you should have the mindset, and realistically, this Buffalo Bills team this year, you should have the mindset of, we need the ball first every time so that we can go down, score first, and then force other teams to play catch up with us. We know we can come from behind. We got the offense to do it. We just don't have the defense to do it. You know what I'm saying? So if we know we ain't got the defense to do it, then the idea is we have to make sure we're ahead at all costs. And if they're not going to do that against this Ravens team, then, listen, Sean is going to be the first person I go at when they lose, if they give the ball to the Ravens first.
So me, I'm the opposite, mainly because I think it's just how I've always been. Like, it's kind of like bowling. Like, the more important is how you finish, it's not how you start. And that's my mentality when it comes to football. Like, if I got the ball first, if I don't score, then I feel like I wasted that opportunity. And now they get in the second half. If I get the ball in the second half, no matter what happens in the first half, the last two quarters was what matters. That's the end of the game. So whatever I put forth there is going to basically make or break the game. And the fact that I can control that first, I want that every time. So me personally, like if I ever become a head coach, I always want the ball at halftime. Always want it at halftime.
Yeah, see, for me, I understand it. I get it. There's so many different philosophies for it. For me, I'm a quarter-by-quarter guy. Like, I'm like, okay. I remember Michael Jordan saying a long time ago, averaging 32 points a game, it's really simple when you think about it. It's like, what do you mean? You just had to score 8 points a quarter.
Yep,
that's it. You just break it down.
Quarter, yep.
So the Ravens average, I'll just say 29 points a game, we'll say. So you got to score 30 points a game to beat the Ravens, in theory. So 30 broken down by a quarter is what? It's 7.5 points. Mm-hmm. So basically, I'm sitting here like I got to score at least a touchdown a quarter. Anything above that is ice cream. Sure. But I still got to go out there and do my work on on the defensive end and come out. When I played basketball, our coaches always say we have to win the first 3 minutes of each half. So the first 3 minutes of the first quarter and the first 3 minutes of the third quarter. We gotta win those at all costs. And so I think there's a million ways to skin a cat. But we need to figure out how the Bills want to do it. Not us per se, but they need to know how they want to attack it.
Yeah, I think whatever they decide, it should fit who they are, and that's the only reason I say this. I mean, Steve agrees with you, Mac. He says getting the ball first in the second half is a no-brainer. You have an entire half of data and the ability to make in-person adjustments at half. I would yell at McD if he took the ball first.
I like that.
I get it. I'll put it like this. I equate it to fighting. Like, I'm right-handed, and typically when you fight, if you're in boxing or if you're doing martial arts or something like that, you don't lead with your strong hand. You save your strong hand and you protect with your weak hand, right? And the idea is I don't want to give you the ability to counteract or nullify my strength before I get to use it. Now, Sean McDermott thinks his strength is defense. And consistently this year, we've seen it's not. It's really not. Now, offensively and really as a team in general, we start slow. As Laura said, we've been starting slow. Mm-hmm. That's true. Don't you think you would get a little bit more juice and more consistency at the beginning of the game if you put your best player on the field to set the tone for the game? Like, that's just – I'm talking about this team, not my football philosophy in general. This team in 2024 with what they've been all season long, I just don't know if I would put my defense out there against the strength of the Ravens and say, do what you want now, I'll have the last laugh. Like the end of the game is not guaranteed to me. What's guaranteed is what I can control right now. And what's happening right now is who I'm putting out on the field.
When I think of that point, I mean, I get it. I understand it. But when I think of that point, I think of if you stop the Ravens first. Mm-hmm. If you get that stop, it's psychological warfare at this point. Because now you couldn't start off strong, and I got Josh coming.
Exactly.
With that right-handed haymaker you're talking about.
Yep.
And I get, I understand why you want to start fast. And that's another philosophy. That's the side that McDermott won't do, because he's not aggressive. You got to be an aggressive mindset to do that. And I just don't see him doing it at all.
You know what this really reveals, and this is kind of crazy. We all, to some degree, have what?
I thought I lost it. Never mind.
We all psychologically have our hard stances and our concessions, and it's really interesting to see. Like there's times for me and for y'all too where I've seen y'all take a hard stance on something with the idea that the worst could happen. I don't want to do that because if that don't work, then we're going to be stuck.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And here we are, y'all both are saying, well, I want to give them the ball first because of an optimistic point of view. You see what I'm saying? Like it's a very different thing to you know what I mean? Like, I think it's kind of cool how people, not and I'm not saying switch up as a bad thing in this context, but I mean it's very interesting to see how people rationalize sometimes, how people process information and we can have a pessimistic thought on one occasion or one microcosm of a game, and then on the other hand, we're talking about the beginning of a game, and it's all optimism. You know what I'm saying? So, but you were gonna say
the other thing is you gotta. I look at Buffalo's what they do best. They play better in the second half. You look at all the games from week 1 to week now. They play better in the second half. So if I know they play better in the second half, I want to start that better half with the ball.
You know what's funny about this too? I don't even know if it even correlates to when you get the ball. But the Bills are 3-3 when they have the ball 29 minutes or less, and they're undefeated when they have the ball more than 29 minutes. Undefeated.
Wow.
So I think more so. I got to actually look into this further, but I don't know if we took the ball first in these instances. But it seems like the more we have the ball, the more we wear them down, and that's where James Cook comes into play. That's where these dink and dunk passes come into play. Yep. Just chew the clock. Yep. As much as everybody says, run the score, run up, we're high. You don't have to be, because the Bills, in theory, aren't that team. They don't want to score 1,000,000 points,
right? But
they just do by virtue of the defense giving up 1,000,000 points first.
Yep. Yeah. And the other thing is I'm at home. So what happens when the opposing team comes out first? Game first starts. What happens?
Come out on the field or up?
No. Well, after the coin toss and the kickoff, what happens?
Noise.
Exactly. So you doing your first drive, everybody's pumped, everybody's hot, they ready to go, they pumped up. Most people can, but can you go out there confidently and do we're going to run this play, knowing and our fans are crazy. So coming out in there, like I said, people playing in the NFL, they know this all the time, but you doing your first drive and it's just, right? Yeah. Versus, let's say, we get the ball first. You start your defense out there, everything's quiet. Why? Because the offense at work. Now everybody's quiet. So now you're like, okay, let's see what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? To me, it's just you got to use your advantages when you get them. Like, to me, playing at home is a huge advantage. And like I said, I think historically the Bills are a better team in the second half than they are the first half.
You know what the biggest advantage for this week is? and you hit it, but you didn't say it. The crowd. Why? It don't matter who's on the field. Why? Because what's happening? Who's playing? Yeah. The class of the Titans. Yeah. 1A and 1B MVP. Mr. All-Pro, Mr. All-Pro 2. Some people feel like he was wrong. Some people feel like he was just where he's supposed to be. Some people feel like he didn't belong there at all. But the thing is, there's going to be Ravens fans up there because everybody wants to see this game.
Everybody.
I'm surprised they don't put this thing on Prime.
They said this is the biggest anticipated AFC game, like A said, since the 17-second game. Yeah. And back then, they didn't know it was going to be the 17 seconds game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. Yeah, it's Bills Chiefs, but you didn't know.
Right.
That was the first rematch since the AFC Championship game, wasn't it? 13 seconds?
I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the first rematch.
Yeah, because they were still. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One quick comment, and then I want to get to Lindsay's comment. So I want to address Nightshade Jones. What's going on, my man? He says you sound scared. Listen. Anybody who knows, anybody who's seen like real bullets and been in some serious situations, those people will tell you if you're not at least a little scared, you're probably gonna end up dead. Like that's you have to have a little worry to make you stay on edge and make you be aware and stuff like that. That's my approach to this game is I think it's healthy to have a little bit of fear of what the other team could do. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that there's so much fear in my heart I'm going to be paralyzed and I think the Bills will be paralyzed. No, not at all. But everything that I'm saying is a concern to make sure that we have all our bases covered because at the end of the day, I want to win more than anything. And if there's anything we miss, if we start slow, if we don't cover a player, if we don't do something on the field, I'm going to be mad and I'm going to feel like we didn't have the level of respect or the level of fear that we needed to have to motivate us to make sure we had everything covered.
That's a great point, what you said. That's in everything, everything. I'll tell you what somebody told me. And, I'm in the military, so like you said, when you go to war, when you train, you have to have a certain level of fear because if you don't, that's when – so I'll give you an example. Let's say I'm a carpenter, right? I'm the best carpenter. I do my job, whatever. I can do this with my eyes closed, right? I put that ladder up, I go out there not paying attention. Guess what? Now I might die.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm too cocky because I know everything. Or I did this 1,000 times. But the fact that, I should probably put this here because just in case, like, you got to have just a little bit.
Right.
You got to have a little bit because it keeps you honest and it keeps you on your toes.
Exactly.
And if you're not on your toes, like I said, you can end up dead.
Yeah,
exactly.
I really call it healthy paranoia. That's what I call it.
Yeah.
Healthy paranoia because, I work at the airport. What can happen?
Yeah.
Everybody knows.
Get sucked up by a turbine.
I've seen that.
For real?
I haven't seen it personally. I've seen the aftermath. It's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad. But I mean, that's the thing. Like that, I cannot go home at any given day because I've had people come in the office and try to threaten me. Luckily, I'm a big dude.
Yeah.
So they realize when I stand up, you stand on something? Nah, it's the floor, baby.
Who do you think you are?
Yo, that reminds me. Wait.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yo, I can't. I forgot what I was doing. I might have been setting stuff up, and Junie was setting up the cameras, right? You hadn't got here yet. And we had the desk set up, we had the mic set up and everything. We was trying to get a camera check to see if we needed to have it hiding. So I turn around and Key is on his knees at your desk, bruh. He's talking to Judy. He was like, "You got it? A little higher, a little lower." And he's like on his knee, but he's standing straight up. Right? Yo, I turn around, I'm like, "What are you doing, bruh?" No, move out the way. Let me sit down. I usually do it, right? The funniest part about this was when I sat down, the camera view was already perfect. Wow. Him on his knees at the desk was just as perfect as me sitting in that chair. Yeah. Like that's how big he's.
Screw you, tall guy.
Get out the way. He's like, all right, it's pretty close. All right, that was hilarious.
I hate you guys.
So
tall height, man. I want to be 6 feet so bad.
You don't want
so
it.
bad.
6 feet, okay. You don't want this height.
Oh, but you can't hide nowhere though. There's nowhere you can hide.
That's the point.
Like
you can't hide
if a zombie's ever coming, bro, you gotta hope it's a big giant pillar for you to stand behind or something.
But I feel like nobody's going at you first.
That's true. That's true.
I can't get a car that I really want because I can't fit it. I got to go to the special store for clothes. I mean, I got to explore. I haven't explored that. I only have one kid. What is all the space in the back? I don't need that, but I need my legs to fit in my vehicle. Right. So it's like, all right, but I wish I could be like, if I was your height, man, listen, after basketball, man, listen.
Nope.
Listen, if I was your height after T's 5'4", it'd be fine. It'd be fine.
Yeah. Steve says, take the ball in the beginning at home, get a lead, and score often. Taking the ball puts pressure on the Bills to start fast, and they need that. Kev says, no fear, just a healthy respect. Of course. Nightshade Jones says, as someone who's been shot, agree completely. Yeah, bro. Yep. Yeah, that ain't no joke.
Gotta have a little bit, man.
That ain't no joke. Laura says, I'm anxious about it. I've been dreading this game, but pressure makes diamonds and can get us a ring, baby. I like that point. Very creative. You might got some writing in your future. You feel me?
I see what
you
you
feel
did.
me? Right. She hit us with the flow. You be rapping on the low? You be rapping?
Bars.
All right, I want to get to this question by Lindsay. She says, if the weather plays a factor in the beginning of this game coming up, would you start a 4-3 defense against a run-heavy Ravens team?
I would start a 4-3
regardless, right?
Because it's the Ravens.
This is the game
but
a resounding yes.
But like I said, they're probably going to start out in nickel
and
then see what happens. But I would start out 4-3. Give me Milano, Bernard, and Williams. Here you go.
You had it right. I would start out. They're going to start out a nickel, and they're going to finish a nickel. That's the part you didn't say. They're not going to deviate from that nickel.
Because they did the same thing against the Lions, and when they saw that the Lions were trying to go at Taron Johnson, they made an adjustment. They brought Dorian Williams in for a few plays. And
when was the last time Dorian got snaps? Was that the last time you got snaps in the game?
Didn't he play in the Patriots?
I mean, aside from the Patriots game, but yeah.
Well, yeah, that
in a meaningful game.
Yeah, a game where they weren't putting the scrubs in.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
You guys are all. I love you all.
Yeah. Mark, I appreciate the comment. He says, "Smush that like button if you're down with PPP."
Yeah, you know me.
It's like OPP, but it's better. It's like OPP, but it's better. It's legal. It's legal. It's legal. If you're down with PPP, it's legal.
It's still sus somehow, Ken.
Maybe. But Tyson ain't calling that out like Junior
he's
and,
not gonna do
and
it.
Julie
I like
was.
him. He can stay.
Right. Let's see. So Laura says Lamar Jackson's win-loss ratio when temps below 32 degrees is 5-7. Ooh. 5-7, fellas.
You know what? Yeah, but I think that Derrick Henry coefficient wipes a lot of this out. You know, a lot of this that's the thing.
That's why they got him.
Yeah.
To me, the game depends on how well or not well Derrick Henry. To me, it's all about. I know Lamar Jackson is elite. I know he's an MVP, probably the third-time MVP. But to me, the game is going to depend on Derrick Henry.
Yep.
I like who's their offense coordinator now?
Todd Monken.
I like him. I like him for Lamar.
Yeah,
I noticed Josh a couple times. You know, that touchdown, the one where he ran out for 7 seconds or whatever. Mm-hmm. He didn't take his eyes off downfield. That Josh almost never does that. Soon as Josh takes off, and he uses his feet to maneuver himself in a pocket, a position where he can throw the ball. Lamar's been doing that all year long. He's manipulating people to get wide open throw. That's why his receivers they're like among the top separators. Because the offense is slowed down for him and it's slowing down for Josh. Now, I hope Josh recognizes why it's coming easily and not try to make it hard, because there were some plays yesterday where Josh had a pass, but he decided, I want to scramble. I don't like that. I want this. Like, just toss it. Just toss it. Lamar Cooper's right there. Toss it. You know, Keon Coleman a couple of times. He was there. Just toss it.
Yep. Let me get to this comment real quick. Steve Noble says we need to make Lamar run the ball instead of Henry and punish him when he does. I don't know if we have enough players with enough speed to punish him per se. I mean, that might have to happen on sacks more than anything else.
We got one player that's not going to play.
Who?
Dorian Williams.
Don't say that.
What do you mean he's not going to play?
Because they the Bills want to
come out that nickel.
Yeah,
if they come out nickel, I'm not gonna wager saving anything, cutting anything. But I'm saying I want him to play.
Well, here's the thing. So we know they're gonna start a nickel, right? Let's just say Derrick Henry does not have a good game. You're right. They're gonna stay in there. Why change out of it?
Yeah.
But if he starts to get some momentum, I think you see it. Like you said with the Lions game, it's like, all right, we're not going to let this dude beat us. Hey, we need to switch things up. I think they do that.
Yep.
I could see that, but the caveat is, I mean, we don't know if Flowers is playing. I guess there's a chance he actually might play. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he could play, but
he's
I
got
don't
a
think
knee
he's not going
sprain,
to be 100%,
Yeah.
even if
Well,
he does
even
play.
then, a 65, 70% Flowers is something you got to watch out for. And what that does, that opens up the field for your man, your other guy. Bateman and Likely and Andrews and I mean, and even J.D. Hill, Justice Hill.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these guys they got a lot. Just like us, they got a lot. Everybody eats over there too.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the scary part. You know, you take Henry out, guess what? Now you take that takes Taron Johnson off the field, but now your slots opened up because you got Dorian Williams out there. You got Matt Milano, who is or is not a good cover man at this point in his career. So it's like it's just rolling the dice. This team is just a hard team to defend because you gotta play to their strength and not play to your strength in this game.
Yeah, and the other thing too, though, Lamar Jackson against the Bills, he has never gone over 200 yards passing. So, like, to me, in order to beat the Bills, if you don't have a good run game, you're gonna have to pass. And I don't see Lamar going for 200 or 300 yards on the Bills.
I think that's because he's never had to. Like, he's 3-1 against us in the regular season and 0-1 in the playoffs. And I mean, that's true. But that's like when people ixnay on his game on Saturday, you only threw for. He didn't have to. Right. That's the problem with him. He don't have to do what he can do. Make him throw. You sure you want to do that? He can.
Two of those times that we saw the Ravens in the regular season was in Baltimore, right?
I'm pretty sure
3 of them was in Baltimore.
All 3?
All in? Okay.
So there's been 4 so far.
He
4
came
regular
here in the
seasons.
playoffs.
Four regular seasons, not counting the playoff game.
Okay.
So this is all the regular season. So the first one don't really count because both him and Josh were rookies.
Okay.
Right. So that really the one don't count. But he was one completion for 4 attempts. But both of them he got in at the end of the game because the game was already
they were
done.
blowing us out. They both got him because it was bad.
2019, 16 completions for 25 yards. He won for 145, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. The next game is when we got him. He went 20 for 29, 144, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions.
That was here or in Baltimore?
That was in Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So he's never played in Buffalo in a regular season, is what you're saying.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, he hasn't.
Right. So I think that fits what you're saying to the T because the only time that he's played here was in the playoffs and he lost. And he looked terrible in that game, honestly. Yep. So I do think that there is something to be said for that because what we're really looking at here with this Ravens team, and I think this is why a lot of Bills fans should be confident going into this game. First and foremost, we saw the Ravens at their best. We know what it looks like, right? We even showed to some degree that we can stop it. We started to do that in the second half before the flea flicker gaff or whatever it was.
Yep.
And they've not seen our best.
No.
They haven't even seen our full roster.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So I think combining those 2 points alone, it's like this is going to be a completely different game.
And here's another point. Yes, the first game. Let's just count the run and let's say, hey, that was part of the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
You could say, as a win or fail, we failed in the run game.
Mm-hmm.
Derrick Henry had 199. You can't let him do that. Here's the caveat: no Taron Johnson, no Matt Milano, no Terrell Bernard. Two guys who instantly impacts that run game. Immediately, they impact that run game, right? So again, like you said, they have not seen us at our best. So you really can't take that. Well, this is all the tape that I got is just that season game, and this is what we did. So we're gonna do because you don't know because now you got different players.
Right. Yeah. So that plus the record that he has against us, you know, being 3-1 in the regular season, not having played a game here, only game he's ever played here in the playoffs, he lost.
Yep.
At the very least, this is an even game.
I was going to say, when we started off the show with Denver, you said 50-50. To me, this is the 50-50 game.
Yeah.
It to me is really, really 50-50.
Yeah.
Like, it really could go either way.
But now I think we're seeing with the information that we just got that might be 60-40.
That's what pushes it because, like, and here's another thing. And this is all predicated on Derrick Henry not having a huge day. If he doesn't, Lamar Jackson is not going to beat us throwing 100-something yards.
No.
Without a run game. It's not going to happen.
Nope.
So in order for beat us, if Derrick Henry does not get off, he's going to have to get 200-300 yards, and he's going to have to go hero ball like Josh Allen. He's going to have to. And otherwise, he's not beating us.
Right.
Now, like I said, if Derrick Henry goes off, then, yeah, he could throw 100 yards. He might beat us because Derrick Henry. But like I said, to me, the catalyst of this whole game is Derrick Henry.
The last time Lamar Jackson threw for 300 yards, October 13th.
Dang.
That was the last time he threw for 300 yards. He's thrown for 289, 290, and excuse me, and 290 again back in December. But over the last 4 weeks, including the wild card game, he's not thrown over 250 yards. Steelers, he threw for 207. Texans threw for 168. Browns threw for 217. And then wild card game, he threw for 175. Now, he only threw one interception in that span. Mm-hmm. But damn, it's got to be nice to have Derrick Henry there to carry the team.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I like so most of what we're seeing now with this Ravens team is now that there's a book out on this offense. Like, it takes a few weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like again, this season, Lamar Jackson has only thrown for 300 yards or more twice. He did it against the Bengals, terrible defense, and he did it against the Commanders. That's a good team, but that's also before they traded for Marshawn Lattimore.
Right.
So he did it against bad defenses, right? Look, there is something to be said when you can score the points that they're scoring and you can have the quarterback ratings that you're having in all these games where you don't have to do much.
Right.
Let's just hear me out for a second, okay? Week 1, 273, 1 touchdown. 273 and 1 touchdown for Josh Allen is like, yo, what are you doing, man?
Right.
1 touchdown?
Right.
Is there a rushing touchdown in there somewhere?
Did he get one?
Let's see.
He had 400 yards, almost 400 yards of offense. He had 1 touchdown rushing. Or, I'm sorry, 1 touchdown passing. That was it.
Okay. So, right. But as you would say, we want to see the quarterback numbers. We want to see, you know what I'm saying? What are you passing for? Raiders game, 247, 1 touchdown, one interception, right? Cowboys, 182 yards. Bills, 156. Like, the quarterback ratings for the Cowboys game and the Bills game alone. Cowboys, he threw for 182 and 1 touchdown. His quarterback rating was 139.4. He didn't have to throw much.
No.
It was a blowout.
Yeah.
And then the very next game against the Bills, blowout. He threw for 156, 2 touchdowns. His quarterback rating was 135.4. When you don't have to do much, of course it's going to look great. But when you got to put the whole team on your back like Josh Allen does, you're going to take a few shots.
Yep.
It's not going to look pretty every time. But guess what? Josh still had comparable numbers. Still.
And that's why, to me, that's why I think Lamar struggles in the playoffs, because he's going against teams that are good that he can't blow out. And if he can't blow out, like, he has to throw the ball for 300. He has to put work in.
Exactly.
Normally, they make it easy, which is great on the coaching staff for making it easy for him. But when you have to take the game over, can you do it?
Right. Let me see here. So Steve says Henry had a huge game with us in nickel. Steelers got cooked in nickel and success being aggressive. We can't watch tape and learn. This is why Sean McDermott is a useless defensive mind. Listen, we've seen him. Not that I don't agree with the point, but I'm simply saying we've seen Sean make some adjustments this season. Now, we can't say for sure if that change happened because of Babbage or if it happened because of Sean just learning and adapting. We don't know. We'll probably find out towards the end of the season, or at the end of the season once playoffs are over. But I do think that gives a sliver of hope for this coming game, that because we've seen it, the possibility exists that we could see it again. So I'll choose to hope that we do. But, man, if we don't, man, we have to ask the question, what are we doing? You know what I mean? If Sean gets up there at that podium in the postgame after a loss and says, well, I believe in Taron Johnson, really? You just watched the man get into a car accident against the Broncos and be out for a play. Came back in, he played well, fine. Mm-hmm. But how many more times are you going to have to go through that and then end up like Micah Hyde in order for you to realize you can't keep putting your DBs in that position? They're too valuable. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I would have wanted to see Sean kind of exercise that option a little bit more. Let's start putting more 4-3 out there. Let's make teams have to prepare for that on offense. You know what I'm saying? And maybe they're waiting to break that out for this Ravens game. Maybe that's what they've been waiting for. They showed a little bit of, showed a couple of things in the Lions game because they had to do what they had to do. Cool. They're still chasing the 1 seed at that point. Mm-hmm. But we got to see. Kev says we have always been terrible in the run game. That's a decision. That's a decision. It's not happenstance. It's a decision.
It is a decision.
Huh?
It is a decision. Yeah. Conscious. I mean, there's no. I shouldn't say no bonuses. No bonuses in the thing, but there's no bones about it. I mean, Dermott's open about it. He says we want to take away the run.
Right.
Or take away the pass.
Yeah.
And let them run on us because he doesn't think that their run game, which I agree with to a degree. I don't think that a run game can match up with the offense in the aerial assault we have, even without the star power that we're used to. But I do think that it's a miscalculation. It's kind of arrogant to say you can run on us all day. I don't care. I'm not even going to try to slow that down.
Right.
Against lesser running backs. You're talking about Devin A-Chain is going off one. You're talking about Ramondre Stevenson is getting some, but so you're not limiting it to the best of the best, the top 10 that you guys name in whatever order you want to put them in. You're limited to every game you're playing against, and it gets old.
Yeah. Kev's responding to the stats from Lamar Jackson. I got you.
Yeah.
He says that's because they ran for 200+ yards a game. Yeah. When it's easy like that and you got a run game cooking, you don't have to do much. Of course, it's going to look great.
I'm glad you said run game cooking. I'm glad you said it.
I put myself in the clink for that one. All right, you were going to say, Mac?
So I just read this coming out. This is an analysis for Jackson's numbers against the Bills. So they did an average. He's averaging 5.8 yards per play, 4 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. And he's only gone over 40 yards one time.
Rushing? Wow.
Versus the Bills.
Wow.
Meaning he normally don't blow out the Bills with, he don't go off that much. Like that Derrick Henry game, but you take that away, he's never really gone off on the Bills.
Well, one of the things that I think made the Ravens go and get Derrick Henry was it eliminated a team's ability to box Lamar in.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You can't just drop 6
right.
and play your 4 defensive linemen and do that I forget that thing where you just kind of squeeze the pocket. You don't actually rush Lamar Jackson because you don't want him bouncing out, but you squeeze and you force him to play it as a pocket passer. And listen, has it been easier for him to do this year? Yes, because of the run game.
I think it's called like a bird cage or something like that.
Yeah. Where you just keep him boxed in. You don't let him run anywhere. Don't let him stress your defense. You force him to play from the pocket and no more. And the Bills have been very successful in doing it. I think that's why his numbers have not been so great. But the Ravens have never had a run game like this, where they can ride a whole season on.
Not when Lamar was there. Like they had it back in the day with my man, him and
Jamal Lewis
and my man Ray Rice.
Ray Rice.
That was my man.
Yeah.
But like I said, Lamar Jackson's never seen a running back like that.
Exactly. So, I do think Henry is going to be the focus of this game because if you can box him up and then do the same thing that you've been doing, you put Lamar in that birdcage like you said, and force him to pass from the pocket. Yeah, Todd Monken has done a great job of giving Lamar open throws, but that's that's born from the play action and the threat of the run. If they don't have that and they have to play from behind and Lamar's got to play from the pocket, you're talking about a very bad situation for Lamar Jackson, who's not played well here. Like, he's already coming in with a deficiency of not having played well here,
Right.
just in general, right? You add on to that, oh, you don't have a run game. Oh, by the way, you really can't run because you'd have to work extra hard to get out of the pocket, and by the time you do, we got a linebacker on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that game plan in general, it basically eliminates an opportunity for a win for Lamar.
Yeah.
How can you win against that? So
I will say this too, and I truly believe the winner of this game is going to the Super Bowl. Whoever wins this game, they're going to the Super Bowl.
wow.
I really believe that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't see whoever wins. I don't see KC beating either one of these teams.
Well,
I really
KC
don't.
Yeah, KC shouldn't have beat the Ravens last year. That was the slowest game. It was 17-10. And I mean, after a while, people were just dropping everything. After Lamar was just like, yo, I can't hand you the ball anymore. And and KC, I'm almost confident in saying we finally got that number. We finally got only took us 1,000 times. We finally got that number. And you catch them when they're already leaking. They're hemorrhaging right now.
Exactly.
They're bad.
Yep.
They got 15-1 because they keep playing just good enough.
Right.
15-2, but
Right. And to me, that works in the season, regular season, but it's gonna bite you in the playoffs.
it's different in the playoffs. Yeah.
It's gonna bite you in the playoffs.
Luckily for them, they got home field because they don't want to go nowhere else. They don't need to go anywhere else. They're not good enough.
Do we have Josh Allen's stats versus the Ravens?
Sure. I actually was looking at it, but I'll pull it up.
Okay, I got it pulled up here too. So we won't include.
I'm just going to, actually I had it, so I'm just going to pull them up like this here. Give me just a second. Josh versus the Ravens?
Yeah, I got it on StatMuse if that's.
Yeah, well, it depends on whatever you want, whatever kind of stats you need. Go ahead.
I just in general, but we can look at the splits too. I want to see that too. All right, so Josh Allen 2018, he was 6 of 15 for 74 yards. So he probably didn't play much of that in that game.
That's the rookie year.
Okay, got you. 2019, he was 17 of 39 for 146 yards, 1 touchdown.
2022.
2022 was 19 of 36 for 213 yards, 1 touchdown, one interception. And then this year. So I'll say this. I think those stats are based on what was a much better defense than what we're going to be seeing from the Ravens this year.
And I was going to say the playoffs, Josh, 23 of 37 for 206, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, completion at 62-2.
That's much better.
That's
the efficiency. I mean, it's much better. What was the completion percentage? 23 of 37.
62. So it wasn't that great. It was neither one of them was that great.
His best one was
62 is better than 52. He was 43,
definitely
52, and 55.
I ain't gonna argue that.
I'm sorry, you gonna say?
I said his best rating was the game he lost this year.
Yeah, by far. Well, not by far, 3 points. but yeah, I'll take. Listen, I'll take the playoff numbers, even if that's what Josh ends up doing tomorrow, which I don't think is gonna happen. I think the Ravens' pass defense has gotten better, but I still don't think it's at a point where it can stop what we're gonna do. And I don't think their pass rush is as good as it was last year either. So I don't think, you know what I'm saying? It's just like that edge that the Ravens had last year that made them that elite number 1 defense. It's not there. And everything that they had the last 2 times before that when Josh played them, this Ravens defense is not that. So if they're coming in here with a better offense but a weaker defense, listen, advantage us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, your offense is better, but there's a very clear and obvious reason why. You can't identify why our offense is better this year, the Bills. Right. I mean, you cannot. There's not one thing that you can point to and say, let's take that away.
Right.
We do so many things well.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not even like you could say, well, we'll take away the run game. All right, fine. We can pass 30 times a game. That's fine if you want to roll that way. We can pass it 40 times a game. It don't matter. The X factor for this matchup is Josh Allen. You cannot take him away.
I think from their game plan, I think what they're going to try to do is limit Josh from getting out of pocket and running. I think they're going to try. I don't know how that's going to fare out, but I think they're going to try that because if you think about it, we've said it on the show. Josh is not the type of guy just to stand up in the pocket and just, you know what I'm saying, deliver the ball. Like, he likes to move around. So if you can keep him contained, it may work in your favor.
He's a way different quarterback when you keep him contained. I think he can. Obviously, I shouldn't say I know he can be a quarterback in a traditional sense.
Yep.
But that's not a strong suit.
Right.
Yeah. I think Josh has kind of graduated to being whatever he wants to be now. Watching him this season, even some of the stuff he did in the Broncos game, resetting the pocket on that 4th and 1, you know what I mean? Like that stuff like that is just like he's just on a whole nother level.
He still seems like cool, calm, and collective too.
Yes.
Like previous Josh Allen's, like I've seen him where his head was down.
Yep.
Or I've seen him where he had that stare look in his face, like what's going on. I have not seen that in a long time. Like he knows what he's doing. He's locked in. Like I don't know. He's like on a different level.
I think a lot of that has to do is he doesn't have anybody to answer to anymore.
Yeah.
You know, that's not puffing up the guys that they're departed now. But,
right.
You know, the culture was different back then. If I made a bad throw, you know, let's face it, 14 was like, yo, I was open and you did that. And that's what he's like, I don't even want to hear it. I don't even want it. That's why he go sit by himself. Now it's like, what's Keon Coleman going to tell me? What's Mac Hollins going to tell me?
Mac Hollins going to give him the foot. Listen here, man. Listen, God, what are you doing?
Mac was going to put his foot on the moon.
You better get it together, Josh.
Hey, I'm over here. I'm wearing shoes for you and everything. What are you doing? You want to borrow time? But, yeah, no, I agree. I think, you know, if you're looking at what the Ravens want to do, I think they're confident in their pass defense because they think they got something moving Kyle Hamilton back to safety. They think they got something with that safety tandem, and they actually lauded it on the broadcast and said, "Yeah, I watched that one game."
Yeah.
And I think that's what they're going to rely on now. If we can beat them, good. But I think they really wholeheartedly believe that that's the key to beating the Bills because there's nobody else that they're building their team for right now. You know, if you look at even before this week, they didn't take anybody seriously. They said the Bills are the Bills.
You think the Ravens built their team to beat the Bills?
I don't want to say that, but I think the mentality is, you know, we have teams that are high flying like to throw the ball, and we're going to take that away because in the beginning of the season, they had, you know, they moved people around and they said it's not working. We got to put them back, and as soon as they moved everybody back where they're supposed to be, the defense took off. So I think they're going to stay there because they're like, yo, Ravens fly high. Or whatever they say, and we're gonna go to Buffalo and give them all we got. You know, I think they have a lot of confidence in Lamar. I think they got a lot of confidence in Bateman, and if Flowers plays and their 2 tight ends, they don't care like us. They don't care as much about their offensive line because they got mobile quarterback and a guy that can be an offensive lineman if you really want it to be. You know, so I think this is a hard test for the Bills because this team is coming in not afraid of who we are.
Right.
You know, this is the one team. I think Bo Nix, like I said last time when Bo Nix played, you know, he's a rookie, but he's seen crowds. He's been in the midst of that crazy crap before. Yeah. So that's why he looked like he was composed when rookies usually won't be.
That's true. He didn't seem like he was flustered either.
Right.
Bo Nix, he seemed like he was good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was. Yeah. He's like, I've been here, and I'm not young. You know, he's 24 years old or whatever he is now, 25.
Yeah.
So you know, that's the kind of thing that most teams now see Buffalo. Like, oh man. You know, you watch the Miami podcast. I don't want to play Buffalo. I don't want to. They're all doing this. They're acquiescing now, whether they want to admit it or not. But the Ravens are the one team. Yep. They're like, you know what? Fine. We got our MVP is what they're saying. We got the all-pro. Not them. Right. We got this defense. Not them. Let's roll.
I even heard when they hired Vrabel, they was like, yo, we need you to beat Buffalo.
That's what they told him?
Part of like when they came in, like when they said like the job expectancies and what they expect, and like it was like, yo, we can't lose 2 games to Buffalo every year. Mm-hmm. Like you got to beat Buffalo.
Where was that person when we hired Malarkey?
Exactly, bro. Chan Gailey, Dick Geron, Greg Williams, or whoever.
We was like, yo, come on now. I mean,
but you're right. Like everybody in that division is like, yo, we gotta beat Buffalo, man.
Yeah,
we gotta beat Buffalo.
Yep. Steve Noble says, would you all agree that Coleman, who is criticized for his inability to get separation, is getting much better? He had several great routes Sunday, especially the 2-point conversion.
I wouldn't say he's getting better at separation, but I don't think it matters. I think for Keon Coleman, his game has nothing to do with separation. His game is boxing out. He plays well in close quarters.
Yeah, I think he's comfortable playing the way he's playing.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm interested to see what he does in the offseason, because usually players like that, it's not good enough for them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They always want to get better and improve. So I'm interested to see of what he actually takes to improve himself for next year.
Yeah, you look at all his big catches. When was he ever open? He's always walling somebody up and catching on this side. He's always he's always going up. So I don't really need him. But see, that's why, contrary to popular belief, I'm always like, yo, we need a number one guy, because we know what we got in him, and I'm good with that.
Right.
Just like with Groot, I'm good with that.
Right.
I know what he is. I don't need to make him any different, but I need somebody that can do what he can't do.
Right.
That's where I am with it.
Right.
Steve Lynn says, McDermott takes away our number one receiver. Anyone seen Cooper? I think it's a good problem to have, honestly. Like, if everybody else is eating, Shakir's eating, Knox is eating, you know what I'm saying? And not that I love this everybody eats thing, but if our number one receiver is not getting the ball all the time and we still winning like this, still scoring 30 points, okay. Listen, Cooper will get his when we need him. You know what I'm saying? If we don't need him, then don't. You know, like, I like only having to break glass in emergency.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's nice to have. It's nice to have.
And I think that's what Steve just said is exactly what I always say I hate. Why is Amari Cooper our number one?
Well, yeah.
His name.
Right.
Khalil Shakir is the number one, but as long as the league says they got Amari Cooper, everybody else have at it. Have at it.
Yeah.
Bring me 38-year-old T.O. I don't care. Because you're not getting the
He's
ball
the
anyway.
number one, guys. He's the one.
And I hate that, but I like it at the same time because it works. When you get that guy that everybody's familiar with, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah. No Bones About It says, I need to get Coleman matched up on that number 21 for the Ravens. He was getting big-bodied by Pickens. Listen. Let's do
Brandon
it.
Stevens?
Who's 21?
Brandon Stevens.
Stevens.
He's a third-round draft pick of 2021.
Yeah, he's not a bad corner, but I've seen him get owned a few times this season. Yeah, he can get got.
He's only 6 feet.
I just want Josh to stay away from Hamilton, man.
Yeah, but I mean, like the way that the Bills play the seams, I think Hamilton is going to be stuck trying to cover that too. You know what I mean? I don't think they'll be able to just move him around, especially for what it means for their defense. Like, being able to use Hamilton the way they used him last year, I don't know if it was scheme from Mike McDonald or what, but the way they used him last year, being able to roam around and be this everything kind of player, play linebacker, play safety, play corner or whatever, I don't think he could do that with this year's defense. You know what I mean? They tried, and they were getting torched. You know what I'm saying? So, Coleman is no Pickens. Yeah, that's true too.
I'm glad.
Why?
Pickens is a head case, man. That dude is weird.
I mean,
dude
he's
is
super. See, again, and somebody, I forgot who it was that backed me up in the last episode. Winning solves everything. We said AB was a head case. I'm willing to subscribe to that, but when they were winning, everybody thought AB was a great teammate. Everybody thought AB was a good dude. Nobody complained about him. But once the killer bees were not killing the league anymore, then it was, this dude is a head case. And listen, the same could be said for Stephon Diggs when it was 2020, 2021 when we was,
He guaranteed a head case.
It's
our head case, though. Nah, Pickens is just, like, it's not even that I'm hearing the hype about it. It's just like, I just watch him like, what's wrong with this dude? What's wrong? He's like the Dennis Rodman of football. Like, what is wrong with this guy? He's wearing a shiesty for no reason. He's out there just doing his own thing. He's not blocking.
You coming at him for winning shiesty for no reason?
I'm coming at everybody for
Lamar
winning
Jackson is out here every day
that.
in one. He goes
I
to bed in
that.
one.
I think I said the Lock Rain. I said, why is this dude wearing?
Every
who
time.
Did I say that to?
You said it to me.
Was it you?
The last episode.
About Lamar?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm like, why is he wearing that? Like, what is this thing? What is the appeal with these shiesties? Oh my god,
Yeah, man.
Like robbers, and that's what you're going for.
No, but I honestly believe if let's say how many yards does he have this season, George Pickens? Do we know?
I'll look it up for you. I'm right there. Hold on a second.
All right. So yeah, I honestly believe if they were a good offense and he was a part of that, and they were the 3 seed, I don't think we'd be hearing from George Pickens.
Dang, he even got 1,000.
No, he had 59 catches, 900 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's a head case.
Oh my God. Zay Flowers, listen, and this is the craziest part about it. With Lamar Jackson not throwing for more than 300 yards except for 2 games this season, Zay Flowers still has over 1,000 yards.
Mm-hmm. Everybody eats.
No, it's not. Like the Ravens are the opposite of that. The Ravens are all of our great players get the touches. But for real. But for Pickens, man, he has not had a good quarterback yet. And I don't even count, like, yes, Russell Wilson had a good record, but that's when the defense was playing much better, too. Now the defense can't stop anybody, and they can't get the ball down the field. They ain't surprising nobody. If I'm Pickens, I'm mad, too. Like, how could y'all not invest in a real quarterback when y'all got me on the field? Like, that tells me right there, y'all don't really care about having a good offense. Listen, it's the same thing we were saying when the Buffalo Bills were spending first and second round picks on defensive ends and Josh Allen didn't have a number 2 receiver at that point. It's the same deal. You know what I'm saying? So I don't fault Pickens 100%. Could he calm down? Yes. But I always refer back to Cooper on this. Like, Cooper's so calm, cool, collected, or whatever. He still wanted to get paid. He was getting paid $20 million in Dallas, and he got paid another $20 million for Cleveland. So he was getting his money. But at 30 years old, you going to a winning team now? Man, I'm good. I got my money. I'm in the playoffs. Yeah. I'm playing with the best quarterback in the league. Yeah. Man, I'm good. I'm great.
To be fair, Pickens was a head case at Georgia too.
Was he really?
Yeah. He was known. He had an attitude. He was known. That's why he got drafted in the second round. Look at his talent.
Oh wow.
He's a second round pick because of that. He was a major red flag coming out. So
would you take him if he wanted to come here?
Would I take him? You mean outside of the culture? I definitely, because I poo-poo all on the culture. Right. I want good players. Yes. Right. And I was actually thinking this when I was watching the game. I was like, man, he lived real nice in Buffalo. The fans would not go for that.
You don't think so?
No. I think they would.
You think so?
Here's the caveat. Uh-huh. If he's balling, they not going to care.
That's true.
The fans not going to care.
Right.
If he sucks, then they're like, ah.
As long as he don't hit nobody with his car like Lynch did, I think he'll be fine. He can't drag race and he can't hit people with cars.
Drag race, no.
So basically, just keep our good players away from cars and they'll be all right.
That's right. Go get them a car service.
That's it.
Yo, so I just looked up something. You know what's funny? So when I looked up, you said Lamar's only did it 2 times. So Josh only did it 3 times. But just looking at the high receivers for each game, bro.
Don't do it.
I love it.
Let's do it.
I love it.
Do it. Read it out.
What do you have?
Week 1, Coleman.
What do you have?
51.
Yeah.
Week 2.
What do you have?
Tupac.
What do you have?
54.
Yeah.
3. Shakir. 72.
Oh, we got 70s now.
Yeah,
all right.
We're getting up there.
4. This is the loss. Now, Shakir, 62.
Wow, and he got hurt in that game.
Yep. Week 5. Coleman again. 49.
And then it was Ray Davis in the second Jets game.
Ray Davis.
But he didn't have 300 yards in that
55.
game.
That was in the first Jets game.
Ray Davis, 55. Next game, Coleman, 125.
Finally got a 100-yarder.
Then Shakir said, okay, 107.
Right.
Then here comes Davis. Your backup running back, Davis, 70. You're going to love this one. Maxwell Hollins, 86 on them boys. He's what? Let's be honest. What is he? What would you say? He's a 4th wide receiver?
Yeah.
I mean, on any team, he's probably a 4th, right?
4th or 5th.
Yeah.
Leading receiver, 86 yards.
Wow.
Then you got Shakir again with 70. Then you got Knox, 56.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got Shakir, 106. Then you got Johnson, 114. This is the best one. Cook,
26.
26.
26.
And we won. However, he did have 100 yards rushing. 100 yards rushing too.
Yeah.
Wow.
But he was the lead receiver, 26.
Wow.
Next game, Shavers,
Yeah, with one catch.
69.
This is ridiculous.
Last, this really don't count because Josh didn't play. Samuel, 52.
Listen.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, everybody's on Weight Watchers. They
We-
eating,
we
but they're
had-
not getting full.
Right. We had 9 players. 9 players, tight ends, running backs, and wide receivers be the highest receivers on the Bills team.
Who you going to cover?
I thought I would never see this.
Yeah.
And if I saw this, I'm like, man, this team sucks.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Listen, Joe Brown, thank you for giving us some more ammo. He says, did you hear the Ravens media called us City of Losers? We might have to use that whiteboard and pull that over here like Nick Wright be doing. We just gonna put that on the board for the Buffalo Bills to take a look at on game day when they're in that locker room getting ready to come out.
Hey, this is what they call y'all.
Yep.
This is what they think of y'all.
Yep.
How do y'all think about yourselves?
I think we're gonna start doing that. I'm gonna start making some stickers to stick up on there, and that's gonna be the board. We got to figure out a name for the board. Bills Mafia North says, was that not from like 5 years ago?
What's that?
I'm not sure what he's talking about.
He's talking about the loser comment.
I feel like Baltimore has been calling us all kind of names all the time.
Did you see they threatened Dan Orlovsky's? Somebody said, if I see him, I'm going to unalive you.
For what?
From X.
From Baltimore?
Yeah.
For saying
Why?
that Josh should be MVP?
No, he just posted a picture on his ex Baltimore, like he was in Baltimore for whatever.
Oh.
And somebody's like, yeah, if I catch you in my city, I'm gonna unalive you. I'm like,
Okay. All right. Hold
like,
on.
yo, this is taking it too far.
Hold on. Because I wanted to do this. I wanted to do this before, and I'm gonna just do it now. We are getting upset because, and I'm talking about like we are, at Baltimore. Baltimore is getting upset because Lamar Jackson is not getting the credit he deserves when he already has 2 MVPs.
Probably he's getting the third. So like, what is he?
I just think that it's like Blood's going to Crip territory.
Oh.
If you rep the Bills as hard as you do,
Right.
I better not see him. Now,
Right.
you got to take that seriously when somebody says some nonsense like that. But that's what it is. Buffalo is not that kind of place where you could trash our people. We'll talk joke. We'll mess with you a little bit. We ain't gonna take it that far.
All right.
Everybody has somebody that will do it, but for the most part, you're good.
So let's go through the numbers, right? They came in the league at the same time, right?
Mm-hmm.
2018, Lamar threw for 1,201 yards, 6 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Okay? This is their rookie season. Josh Allen's rookie season, 2,074 yards, 10 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. I still think Josh had a better year. Threw for more passing yards and more touchdowns. Granted, he had more interceptions.
How many games did Lamar play?
What do you mean, how many games?
Oh
His
yeah.
rookie year. He didn't start right away.
Because he wasn't the starter.
Okay.
He didn't have the.
Well, Josh Allen started
he-
week 3,
No.
week 2.
No, he would start right away.
He started.
Because Peterman
Technically, he started the second half of week 1 because Peterman went out there and was like,
That's right.
right,
that
Josh.
was against the Ravens, right? The first game.
Yeah, Lamar started 7 that year.
Okay. All right. Fine.
No, I wasn't trying to disprove your point.
no,
I'm just saying.
no.
That's cool because even from here on out, is the discrepancy is still huge, right? So 2019, Lamar Jackson's first year starting his MVP season, right? He went 3,127 yards, 36 touchdowns passing, 6 interceptions.
Man, I didn't know he had a year like that.
that's good.
I didn't
Right.
know he
That's
had a year
very
like
good.
that.
Yeah.
That's very
That's
good.
the year he won MVP. That's
Well,
why,
yeah, I
that's
didn't
why I
know he
said
had
That's an
6
MVP
interceptions.
season.
yes.
36 touchdowns and 6. That's an MVP. That he deserved it that year.
And I want to say his rushing totals was crazy that
Yeah, I
year.
think he had 1,000 yards that season
Yes.
too, rushing.
He
So
has-
yes, 100%. Right. Josh Allen, 3,089 yards, 20 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Okay. Now, at that time, the Ravens had a better offense
Yes. And
Then-
a better defense. I'll
and a
say.
better defense
Yeah.
than the Bills had. What?
Lamar ran for 1,200 yards.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Right. That's an MVP season.
That's
right?
why it was like,
No.
for that year, you had to give him the MVP.
Exactly.
You have to.
Exactly. But now, hold on. So after the MVP season, right, he had 3 consecutive years of no more than 28,000 passing yards.
He didn't get 3?
He never got to 3. 2020, 2021. So 2020, he went 2,757 yards, 26 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. 2021, he went 2,882 for 16 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. 2022, he went 2,242 yards, 17 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. You want to know what Josh did in that span?
4,000.
2020, 4,544 yards, 37 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. 2021, 4,407 yards, 36 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. 2022, 4,283 yards, 35 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. What are we really talking about right now, bro? What kind of disrespect are we giving Lamar Jackson at this point that doesn't directly spit in the face of Josh Allen putting up these kind of numbers consistently through his whole career?
So hold up, is this his first year putting up 4?
This is Lamar Jackson's first year putting up over 4,000 yards.
And this is what, year 7?
And this is year 7. The closest he got before that was 2023, where he threw for 3,678 yards, 24 touchdowns, 7 interceptions.
And how many times
remember,
did Josh go over 4?
Josh has been over for,
The last 2 years, I think.
let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4 years.
4 years out of 7.
And the other 2 years that he was a full, well, I guess we're including 2018 because he played all those games. So the other 3 seasons, he had over 3,000 yards, 2 of those seasons, and under 3,000 yards his rookie season. His rookie season is the last time he was ever under 3,000 yards.
And I think you got to think about the longevity too, because Lamar was injured in 2021. He missed 6 games. Or 5 games. 2022, he missed 5 games. Last year, he missed 1. So last year was his healthiest year outside of this year, where he played.
And he won MVP last year.
He won MVP last year. He played 16 out of 17 games, and he played 17 this year.
That's the only one. Like, even if he get it this year, that's the only one that I'm pulling a flag on. Is that
Yes.
that second one? That's the only one. The first one, absolutely, he deserves it. This one, you could argue, he has the stats for it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I listen. If and this is why I kind of get pissed off and spit in the face of this whole thing of, well, the person who wins first team All Pro usually wins the MVP. No, like that. Like, seriously. Like, F that. Because if Lamar won it last year and Josh Allen had better stats, then really Josh got slighted. It's not that Lamar won it, it's that Josh got slighted. And really, Josh got slighted. Why? Because his record wasn't better than Lamar Jackson's. Lamar Jackson was the number 1 seed last year.
Yep.
That's why he won MVP, because it was all the glitz and glamour of what we want to see from a Lamar Jackson, because we're still trying to recapture Michael Vick days. And, combine that with, they're the number 1 seed. They're perceived to be better than the Ravens at this point. The Ravens are on a decline, or the Chiefs are on a decline, the Ravens are on the way up. And all of that stuff folds into, well, we got to give him the MVP now. He's the best team in the league. Okay, well, why we can't get that? Like, real talk, Key. I know what people have been texting you and stuff like that as far as making this a race conversation, but this is some of the stuff that had me thinking similar things. Like, for my quarterback to get overlooked in that sense. And the reason being he's got the better record. That's what it had to be. That's the only justifiable reason that I could see for them saying Lamar with worse stats than Josh Allen gets the MVP.
Right.
But this year, if Lamar Jackson gets the MVP, what's the justification? Oh, well, his numbers. Well, then what the hell was the reason last year?
Yeah. That's one thing I haven't heard anybody address. Anybody on national media, they won't talk about that. They don't have an answer. You ask anybody, somebody tweet in, hey, I'm cool with the MVP, but why did he deserve it last year?
Yep.
Can't nobody give you an answer.
Yep. I mean, listen, Lamar's MVP year last year. It's Josh Allen is closer. It's roughly no. Josh Allen is closer to Lamar Jackson this year than Lamar Jackson was to Josh Allen last year, right? So 2023, Jackson threw for 3,678 yards, right? Last year, Josh threw for 4,306 yards. Okay, so 700-yard difference. This year, Josh threw for 3,731 to Lamar Jackson's 4,172. Like 400-yard difference. Really?
What's that, a game and a half maybe?
Right. You know what I'm saying? So we got to stop acting like Lamar Jackson is getting disrespected when he's really not.
No.
He's getting the respect that he earned.
Right.
And for this dude to have 2 MVPs and not yet have has not yet beaten a playoff caliber quarterback in the playoffs. He's not beating a good quarterback in the playoffs. Who is he beating? Not Josh.
Nope.
Certainly not Mahomes.
Nope.
Has he even played Burrow in the playoffs yet? I don't think so. So I need that whole conversation to go away badly.
What I think it is too, which I hate it. I think it's because Josh is on the Bills.
That is what it is.
What do you mean?
So even though Josh is as great as he is, because he's on the Buffalo Bills, who is known for not winning anything and not having anything, they just think that's precedence.
Yeah.
Right. Until we win, I don't think he'll ever get the credit that is due. Like you said, Lamar is getting the credit that he's due because he's a great player, but he's getting the accolades. Josh is performing better, but he's not getting it because of the team.
Yep.
You guys don't have any Super Bowls. You guys don't have any you guys have nothing.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. For their careers. Thank you, Sweat. I think that was Sweat. That was Sweat. Thank you, Sweat, for pointing out their career numbers. I mean, Lamar Jackson's got 20,000 yards passing, 20,059 to be exact, 166 touchdowns total, 49 interceptions. Josh Allen is just towering over the dude at 26,434 yards, 195 touchdowns. And, yeah, he's got more interceptions. He's got 35 more interceptions. Listen, he's do these career stats include playoffs or no? I don't think they do. These might be regular season stats.
I think for this argument you have to go with scrimmage yards to really encapsulate what the two quarterbacks do.
You got that?
I can. I think that's the real telling tale of where these guys are, because neither one of them has taken the world by storm with their arms, we'll say. You know, they've been good.
Right.
But the allure of Josh Allen, without Josh Allen's running, Josh is not anything special.
You want to be honest? You take the running ability away from Josh, he's Matt Stafford.
Or Ben Roethlisberger.
Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah.
But that's still too much running. Hold on a second.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, these are good quarterbacks, but they're not in that elite tier.
Right.
What makes him elite is the ability that he can do.
You're right.
He can do this with the arm.
And the other thing, too, is I think if Josh was just a slow dude like a Matt Stafford, I think he would be a better passer.
He probably would be.
You know what I'm saying? Because he'd have to be. The only right.
You told me we were in the league.
You got that kind of arm, and you coming into the league, and you can't run. Like of course, he would turn out to be like a Matt Stafford. He would have to be.
Yeah.
So
but now Wichita's in here too.
Who?
Mahomes, because I think he's a better arm. His arm is up there, but he doesn't run like Josh or Lamar.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. No, that's a great point. That's probably how he got to the level he's at faster. Part of it is he got to sit for a year, but the other part of it is he's not as fast as Josh. He's not as nimble as Lamar Jackson. You know what I'm saying? So he had to do it. Laura says Josh has broken so many franchise and NFL records too. Give him one, damn it. But I'm sick of trying to convince these voting fools. Listen, I think at this point, the only reason I'm even saying anything about it is because guys like Aaron jump in the chat, and there's a bunch of people all over Twitter all over the place. Like, literally, I can't go 3 seconds scrolling through Twitter without seeing somebody propping up Lamar Jackson and doodling on Josh Allen's name. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it's like, yo, you don't have to put Josh down just to prop up Lamar Jackson.
Right.
You can say your quarterback is great and mine is great too. Why they can't exist together?
And here's the other funny thing, they're both great quarterbacks, but one's getting recognition, one's not. And guess what? Neither of them has won a chip.
Right.
So how does he still get the recognition? You ain't win nothing. Neither did Josh, but at least you get the accolades, and Josh just get nothing.
But that's
like, is Buffalo in the main people's eyes, is Buffalo that bad?
Yes.
To where either you have a unbelievable player, one of the best that you've ever seen play at that position, but because he's on that team, he still plays for Buffalo.
Yeah.
No matter how good he is, he still plays for Buffalo.
Well, here's the other part that I think goes with it. Josh Allen, for as great as he is now, he was leading the league in interceptions, and the national media perpetuated that stat for him because in their minds they were still comparing Josh to Drew Brees and Peyton Manning and Tom Brady and some of these other good pocket passers that didn't throw a lot of interceptions. And in their minds, that's what a good quarterback looks like. You don't throw a lot of interceptions and you throw a lot of touchdowns. When Joe Burrow came in, he played a lot like Tom Brady. Not a lot of interceptions, threw a lot of touchdowns. So, of course, they're putting him and Patrick Mahomes up there because Patrick Mahomes is throwing 50 touchdowns and like 12 interceptions or whatever it was that season. And here's Josh throwing, 30 touchdowns and 15 interceptions. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude's literally throwing not that many more interceptions than what people think is the best quarterback in the NFL, but he's getting criticized. So I think it's a combination of the Bills choke in the Super Bowl and the Bills have been losing for 20 years, and they drafted this quarterback in the first round that everybody thought was terrible and expected to be terrible, and yeah, okay, he's not terrible. Jalen Ramsey, saying he sucked until he actually played against him. Then he was like, all right, I got to back up off of that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, people still refuse to give him that credit, like you said, because of where he is. I think that's the perfect point for all of this is he's not surrounded by what people perceive to be an elite team. Mm-hmm. And the way he started his career throwing a bunch of interceptions, the national media perpetuated that view upon him of you're not elite yet because you still throw a bunch of interceptions.
Right. And you would think because of the low caliber players we have on our team as far as elite wise and all pros, you would think, man, he's doing all this, breaking all these records on that team.
Right.
You would think that proves that he's most valuable to the team's success. But
so hold that thought because
it kind of hinders him.
Bills Mafia North had a couple things he said. He said, here's the issue. The Bills fans have been complaining about the Bills getting disrespected with no all-pros, but then turn around and saying Josh deserves an MVP more because he has no help. You can't logically do both, which is true.
But you can. The MVP is most valuable player.
Right.
So that means my value is calculated in this. Because of this player team has gone to the playoffs, has won the division 5 times in a row because of his value.
Yeah, but what he's saying is that if people are saying that Josh Allen is MVP because he has no help, the same people can't be screaming that we're getting MVP all-pro snubs. Like, for instance, we're talking about James Cook. We're talking about whoever else.
Well, I see what you're from that point.
That's what it means.
Yeah. So and honestly, really, we should only have one all-pro.
Right, Josh, but he didn't even get that.
You said that too eagerly. Relax. No, I'm joking. Right, Josh. Hold on a second.
Real quick before Tommy start coming at us. Outside looking in. Appreciate you, bro. He says I'm late. Hey, Key, what's the best tea around? Are you off today?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's 8:41. You got to be off today.
I was gonna get to it a little sooner, but I was too busy taking a swig.
Oh, is that what it was?
But the delicious Reed's tea.
Wait. Before you get to that.
He wanted to plug now. I got to plug it. He's a super chat. I got to plug it. The show ain't got to be. I just got to plug it.
Go ahead and answer the question, bro. I can't even be mad.
I mean, the most delicious tea in town is Reed's tea, of course. What are you doing here? Why? Because it's 1 part delicious, 1 part refreshing, and 2 parts healthy. That's what you can expect when there's Reed's tea on the docket. I don't even drink tea, but let me tell you, that's a good tea right there. What are you doing? Head over to Reed's. Get yourself an individual or a whole case. Man up. Get yourself the case. You going to be thirsty? You'll be hydrated. But why would you do that? Trust me. See for yourself. Go to Reed's Tea. Click the link in the description below. Use the code PostPodiumPodcast. Let them know who sent you.
Thank you, Key, and thank you, Oli, for prompting that.
When it's blue, I have to do it.
It's true.
Yeah.
If it's any color, really.
When it's blue, it's something you must do. See? Yeah.
I want to see them stats you pulled up, though.
Yeah.
He was crunching some numbers. I saw the calculator and everything.
Right.
No. Josh, 30,005 to Lamar's 26,002 total.
And that's total passing and rushing.
Total. Yep.
There you go. That says it all right there. Josh has been a much more productive player in the league with less talent around him than Lamar Jackson and everything that he's had from day one.
Lamar Jackson had Greg Roman. Let's add that into coefficient. That's got to count for something.
Then fine. Listen, Steve said it. Josh did all this with McDermott, MVP right there.
Nah.
If you gonna come at Greg Roman like that, Greg Roman was a good offensive coordinator. He was a good offensive coordinator when he was here.
No, he had Tyrod.
And
I don't know how good he was. All he wanted to do was run. He said, "Shady, take us to the promised land."
Okay. All right. Greg Roman was so bad that he took Lamar Jackson to, 2 playoff games?
Lamar took him to 2 playoff games.
Yeah. Okay. Right. All right. Keep it coming. Sweat says no. The problem is the media don't want to say they was wrong about how great he was going to be, so now they have mud on their face. Yeah. With how great he was in college throwing for 500 yards a game, he should have been a little bit better than this. No, I'm just and listen. I was one of the people saying early on, even as a Bills fan, Lamar Jackson got a raw deal with the offensive coordinator that he's got, because to some degree, either the head coach doesn't believe, or the head coach is not telling the offensive coordinator to believe, or they just both collectively didn't believe that Lamar Jackson could be what he was in college in the NFL. Or they didn't want to put him in that position to do what he was doing in college in the NFL.
I'm glad you said that, because I think that's what makes Josh. The fact that he can do what he's comfortable doing, even if it's not what the coach wants him to do. And that's huge. Having a vote of confidence by a coach. So Steve, yes, he did do it with McDermott, but at the same time, McDermott could ixnayed him. If you keep scrambling, you on the sideline. I mean, and we've seen it happen in Buffalo before. We've seen it with players that we've had. Were they going to be good? Who knows? But it just takes one person to believe in you, one person to say, you know what, you threw 9 interceptions, but you didn't make it 10. We can work on that this week.
You taking it too far, bro. Like,
you
got a Lamar Jackson tramp stamp or something? Like, what's going on? You got a Lamar Jackson tramp stamp or something? What's going on? You
know. Who told you I made an appointment?
You've been debating for the dude this whole episode. I'm like, wait a second, are you really a Bills fan or not?
You been talking to T?
Huh?
Have you been talking to T?
She told me a few things already.
Oh man,
she told me a few things, just so you know. So you know.
But honestly, man, I kind of like it because we're let's be honest. Both of these guys are elite quarterbacks. Both of them are good, but it's just funny that one gets recognized and credit for the same accolades of not winning, ultimately not winning, or even getting to the Super Bowl.
Or winning less.
Right? Not even getting to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But one is pushed up and one is, you're okay, but you're not.
Yeah. I heard a good point today, too. One of the reasons that we say Lamar Jackson is not good in the – is not how can I say this? We say Lamar Jackson is elite, but we don't think of him in that way in totality when it comes to his performance in regular season and playoffs, right? And I think the point was the Ravens head coach already has a Super Bowl, right? And when you think about that, if Lamar loses in the playoffs, it's on Lamar. It's not on John Harbaugh. He's already got a Super Bowl, so we know he knows how to win. And he did it with Joe Flacco, who's a lesser quarterback, right? So when we think about Lamar not winning in the playoffs, it's on Lamar. But when we think about Josh not winning the playoffs, what do we always talk about?
It's on Sean.
It's on Sean. because we've seen Josh have some of the best numbers in NFL history in the playoffs. And we've seen Josh go toe-to-toe with the best and look like he belongs. We've not seen that in play calling, in defensive calls, in defensive design. We've not seen that come from our head coach who brought his defense here and established it as the defensive scheme we are going to play. So, to balance this whole thing out, when you look at the numbers, when you look at the deficiencies on each team, and you consider all that stuff, you're absolutely right. Josh should be getting a whole lot more credit than he's getting, and I think everybody should just accept the amount of credit that Lamar's getting right now, because that's deserved, considering that he's not won as many playoff games as Josh has, or performed at the level that Josh has in the playoffs, and lost to Josh the only time they met in the playoffs. We can't continue to put these guys on a balancing beam and say Lamar Jackson is up here with 2 MVPs, and people don't put Josh on Mahomes level because Josh has lost to Mahomes 3 times in the playoffs. Like, if that's the stature for Mahomes and Josh can't get up there because he's lost to him in the playoffs 3 times, then Lamar can't get up to Josh's level because Josh's numbers are better, and he's never beaten Josh in the playoffs, and Josh has beat him.
Well, and he lost to Pat Mahomes.
Right.
This is what I say to that, and you said it, but there's one name that doesn't belong anymore, because there's one name I don't hear, Pat Mahomes. The only name you see everywhere, Josh Allen,
Lamar Jackson. That's
there's
it.
no Mahomes. There's no Jordan Love. There's no Stroud. There's none of this. There's just these 2 behemoths.
Yep.
And that's why Sunday at 6:30 is must see. Now, when you're going to the game, right?
I will be there.
I want you to tell me exactly what Lamar looks like in person, because everybody tells me Lamar looks way different in person than on TV.
What do you mean? In what way?
They say, like, on TV, he looks good, but in person, he does things that you would never understand. He moves faster. They rave about, like, Bills fans are saying this. They like, I went to this game or that game, and I've seen him. I'm like, I saw him on TV. Okay, cool. But when you see him in person, I'll never say nothing bad again. Not me, but, and I'm like, I want to know what you say, what you see. Yeah. Because we're going to watch it on TV, but you're going to be there, close as all outdoors, pretty much throwing snowballs at whoever's close to your side.
I'm a bean Derrick Henry in the back of the head.
Good.
And his head going to bean you with a snowball.
Hit Lamar in that sore spot on his back. All right. Lamar. I'm sorry. Steve says Lamar has 8 Pro Bowlers. Bills have 2, and 1 is Josh Allen. Bills Mafia North says Tyrod made him look good, for shame. Okay, I'll take that for Greg Roman. I mean, that just means Tyrod is a good quarterback.
That does not mean Tyrod's a good
No,
quarterback.
it does. If he made an offensive coordinator look good, that means he's a good quarterback.
He made it look as good as he could. He put lipstick on a pig, it's still a pig.
Oh, that's cold. That's cold. Steve said Tyrod 2015 numbers look a lot like Lamar 2023 numbers. Google
He's not
it.
lying. I already looked at it. He's not lying.
Call it out. What is it?
He's not lying.
You got it up, or? All right, I'm gonna read this next comment while you pull that up.
You want me? I can put up on.
Oh, go ahead, Keith.
All right, so Buffalo Buddha says, I believe Josh's second year was as good as Tyrod's best year with the Bills.
Josh's first year was as good as Tyrod.
Right. Yeah, man.
I needed that.
Steve says Tyrod never ran for the yards that Lamar has. Get a clue, Steve Lynn. Oh boy. Okay.
Oh, not this again.
Yeah.
Why can't
let's
we
take it easy.
be friends? Why can't we?
Not another award, please, please. All right. So,
Which year he said? I got it, Keith.
Tyrod, I got it up here.
2015 and
Lamar
2023.
Bro, 3,035 yards, 63.7 completion rate. He had
What's he talking about?
20 touchdowns, 6 interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see his rushing yards though.
I can. I got it. He
got his
rushed
rushing?
Lamar rushed for 821 on 5.5 a carry. Tyrod 5.5 a carry, but he ran for 568 yards. Lamar had 5 touchdowns. Tyrod had 4. There's nothing on this page that Tyrod's won outside of yards per attempt, which that's because we know who Tyrod is. And interceptions, he had one less interception.
No, Steve ain't saying he won anything. He just said it looks comparable, and it does. The completion percentage was 4 points off. Tyrod's at 63.7. Lamar's at 67.2.
Same amount of passing yards.
He has 600 more.
Yeah, he's almost 700. Well, yeah, 600 more.
Completion, like
but the touchdown percentage was exactly the same, 5.3. Interception percentage was slightly higher. Tyrod was 1.6. Lamar's 1.5.
Completion percentage, so he had him by 4%. So
yeah, quarterback.
That's big. That's big.
Quarterback rating: Lamar was at 102. Tyrod was at 99. I mean,
it's close.
Yeah,
QBR is nothing. How do you quantify that?
Right.
I'm not saying, what is that?
Bro, I don't even know.
I don't either.
I don't know.
I'm gonna put myself out there.
QBR is like a mystery stat.
Yeah,
EPAs,
nobody knows.
I don't understand. EPA earns for. I don't understand that. I don't even want to know. It's too much.
You watch some more Cover One.
No. I used to watch them.
You used to?
I used to. I don't have time anymore.
Yeah. Too much studying. Too much work to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else before we close up shop that y'all wanted to get out?
Don't worry, I got nothing. Unless something lights up on my, I got nothing. Don't worry.
Predictions for coaching hires. Anybody you think going any particular place? Mike Vrabel already got hired.
Which call got fired? Well, he didn't get fired. He just didn't get.
McCarthy.
He didn't get.
Yeah, Mike McCarthy.
He didn't get picked up for the next year.
Yeah, he got into a contract debate with Jerry Jones and ended up walking away.
That makes sense. They don't pay anybody.
The GM
I wouldn't pay Mike McCarthy.
The Titans interviewed Terrence. Is it Terrence Gray?
Terrence Gray for the GM.
He went through a second interview, so that usually means he's going to get the job whenever you get a second or third interview. But usually they hire you after the second interview. So it looks like Terrence Gray is going to be leaving our offices here, and going to Tennessee.
What is he right now?
He's the pro personnel.
He's an assistant though, right?
No,
or is
I think
he runs the department?
Yeah, I think
okay.
He's pro personnel department.
Okay.
Does that do scouting or no?
Pro scouting. So like free agents and stuff like that. Who's out there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do we got anybody like? I don't know.
What?
I don't know if that's gonna be like if we lose them, is that gonna be because? What do you think? You guys think our draft picks are better than our free agents?
It's all dicey.
Yeah, like lately it's been a no, but that's because the cap situation. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But like early on, it was heavily free agents and draft picks was like nah, you know. So
yeah, they've been doing better with drafting.
Yeah,
but
which is a good thing. It's not a bad thing.
I'm not gonna give him an A, but I'll pull him out the toilet. Right. Joe Brady, if he leaves, it shouldn't matter as much as people think. Because it's Josh Allen's offense. If Josh Allen's offense, whoever comes in has got to run what Josh Allen does best, and he's on tape now. This is what he does.
Yeah.
So
I don't think though if another coordinator comes in here, you're not going to see that everybody eats. I think they're going to try to incorporate a decent run game with a good passing game, but I don't think they're going to sign off on that. Everybody eats.
I don't need anybody else eating. I don't need anybody else eating. I need some people. I need some dogs here. Unless y'all want to see Matt Collins, I don't mind it. You want to see Matt Collins 2025 re-up? Let's do it.
Hey. So far,
it would drive you nuts.
I'm all right.
So far, I'm cool with Matt Collins, man. Like I said, he's not a starter per se, but when he's on the field, he makes plays, so that's cool. I'm not paying him crazy money.
If you want to ask for it,
but you know what I'm saying.
Here's the one thing that I think is the fly in the ointment of this year's offense and continuing this run for years to come. And I just mean this run in terms of re-signing these players. This is year one of this build and this iteration of the Bills' offense. We're taking the league by surprise this year, essentially, right? And the reason we've been able to do it so consistently is because, we've been morphing as the season goes on. We didn't start the season out with everybody that we now have. So we've been without players, played a certain way, traded for players, got players back off of injury, figured out positions for players, all that kind of stuff, right? Mm-hmm. This team is morphed in like 3 or 4 different ways throughout the season. So we've never been one consistent thing for everybody to look at and say, like, we know what to expect, we know what's coming, right? But when it comes to continuing that next year and the year after, well, now teams are going to have tape. You know what I'm saying? And so it may be a situation where it's like, yeah, I'm excited to keep Mac Hollins because of what he did this year. Well, what he did this year is not likely to continue and work with the same effectiveness next year.
Yo, if they study Mac Hollins, pay that man because that means he could be the decoy.
No,
never
not
mind
even.
him. No, I'm joking.
Stop.
I'm joking.
Yeah, please don't put that in people's minds.
Wait, you think I could?
I think you could put that in people's minds. 100. This is listen. We have to be careful with this platform. One of the things that we're seeing now, especially with the haters, is we can't just say anything.
If
you
I
know what I'm
start
saying?
seeing Mac Hollins votes, oh man, I know I did my work.
Yeah,
I did my job. You're right, but I think that you got to build on and see the thing about that, what you just said, it actually would be cool. And like I said, if Joe Brady left, guess what? You got Joe Brady's offense on film. Right. You got his principles.
You don't know what we're gonna do.
You don't know. Yeah. It might be an offshoot of Joe Brady, but it ain't exactly what you got on film.
Yep.
You know, the next offense coordinator might want to use James Cook a different way. Might want to use James and Ray Davis. May want to use a rookie somewhere.
And that's what I would want because that means we take the league by storm again.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? Like,
so
I would take
just
that.
build on that iteration.
Yeah. Yeah. I listen. I'm cool with that. Real quick. Steve Noble says Tyrod never ran for the yards that Lamar has. Okay. We already read that one, and I'm not gonna read this other one either. Buffalo Buddha says Dion said Joe Brady ain't going nowhere. The Herd interview. Billy D, what's going on, my man? He said
we ain't nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
What are you guys worried about?
Yo, Billy, you never answered our question, bro. What do you sound like, man? We need a sound sample. Matter of fact, real quick, before we get to closing up shop, we just did like a 3-hour show.
We really did.
Memberships are coming up very soon. They're coming up very soon. I promise you, they should be up in the next couple of weeks at the very, very latest. Okay, the only thing we're still putting together now is content schedule, and making sure we have the structure of everything. But included in that, as part of being a member of the Triple P Inner Circle, is what it's going to be called. Triple P Inner Circle. You will have opportunities to come on the show with us live and give us comments and feedback and stuff like that. So, Billy D, I'm just saying, bruh, if you want to come and put some of that deep vocal on the mic, you know what I'm saying? You're more than welcome to do that. Kev says we can't keep changing offensive schemes without addressing the defensive schemes. Yeah, but see, again, that's the thing with having Sean here as a head coach. That's not going to change until he leaves. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it comes down to, unless he chooses to go the Nick Sirianni route and just be like, all right, I'm going to take a full step back, and whoever my defensive coordinator is, he brings his scheme, and we just roll with that. That's the only way. Anything else before we get out of here?
I just got two things.
Yeah.
Steve Spagnuolo may be leaving.
He says he wants to do it?
Bro, he already took like 3 different interviews for head coach.
Wow.
Jaguars, Jets, and somebody else. So
he's a liar.
So he may
right, yeah, because
so
he said he was
may be leaving. He may. It's not guaranteed, but
if he leaves,
could be just playing with people. Like, I'll just take the interview, but I'm still in there.
Right.
Could be. The other thing is that y'all see my man Mike Edwards start in the playoff game.
With who?
The Buccaneers.
What he doing in the playoff game?
He put in some work, Key.
What kind of work?
That's why he was starting.
Wait.
He's starting safety.
What did it amount to,
In the playoff game.
That's why they lost. Now we know why.
Mike Edwards is
Now
starting.
we know why.
Who got the W though? All right, man, we already did the read. All right, well, I'm behind schedule now, so now I got to get over here.
I thought you wanted. Oh, you wanted.
All
Okay, all right. Okay.
I got to put it at Ocho.
Okay.
Put it at Ocho. Get it at Ocho, and then what you got? What you got up here?
I don't know.
What
I
is
thought
that?
I had it up. I pushed it. I had it up.
No, you didn't, bro.
Right here. I did. It
Where?
had all 3 things. Go back to the.
Nope, that wasn't even
You
it.
close
You
it
got to
out.
go over here
what I
and
had.
right.
He don't know, man. He ain't.
There.
He don't know my
All right,
plight.
there it is.
That's why it's
Listen.
the wrong song.
Wait. No, it's the right song. I had to check now. You got me doubting myself. All right, listen, we appreciate everybody who is tuned in tonight. Thank y'all for joining us. Everybody who gave us a super chat tonight, thank y'all very, very, very much. Listen, look out for the memberships. It's going to be fire, I promise you. We got membership-only content. We're going to be doing member-only chats where you get to sit down with us and just talk ball. It's just a conversation at that point. It's not even a show. We just talking with y'all. And we'll have some other stuff available, too. It'll be worth your time, and your effort, okay? Now, with that being said, if you could please give us a like, give us a subscribe, hit that bell, make that thing
Ring-a-ling-a-ling.
so that you can get notifications like everything that I've been saying throughout this podcast, this episode here. Look forward to it. The link for our Triple P store is in the description of this video. Get there now. Get you some Triple P gear. I promise you it's going to look great on you. Keith, you got the hoodie, right? Show it to him. Show it to him.
Hey.
Camera guy, show it to him. Camera guy, there we go. There we go. all right. So look out for the gear. It's coming at you. This has been the Post Podium Podcast, home of the all truth, no sodium takes. I have been your co-host, Aramis.
Melly Mizzle.
For the keys.
All right, y'all have a great night. We out.
I did it for the culture. We still made it.